Okay. Did he go through? Are we live? How do you know if you're live? Am I live? Yeah, it must be. Anyway. There we are. There's the liveness. Copy that. Okay. Now, before everything gets sorted out, let's check the audio. There is a bit of echo going on. I will say that. But in the interim, Ace, everything. How does your audio sound?
Check. How does my audio sound? Is it good? Am I too far from the mic or not?
You sound good. I hear that echo. I don't know if that's on your end, but I hear it when you're muted, so leads me to believe something going on with you, Ghost. How does your audio sound?
I think fine. Yeah, I have the USB in. Should be good.
The USB in? With your microphone?
What happened?
You said the USB?
Oh, I was just talking to myself. I go look at my
bad.
input for Discord, but yeah, I said I should be good.
Okay. And then how do I sound? Do I sound all right? And is the audio clear? And the volume is all right?
Yep.
I think that echo is still happening.
Yeah, I do hear the echo.
I guess let's all check the settings to make sure everything looks copacetic. Okay. Echo. No, that's good. Are we all using typical setups?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
So when we talk for long periods, is that create the echo?
I hear the echo.
Oh, sorry. My headphones.
Oh.
This ninja.
I thought it felt too good. I was like, damn, I feel better than I usually do because I didn't have the friggin' headphones in.
Every week, come here and say there's a million and one comfortable headphone options.
It's not about the options, it's just having the headphones in general. In ear, over ear.
Because they're uncomfortable, right?
All right. Say something, please.
Because they're uncomfortable, right?
I can hear you. I kind of don't know what you mean, but echo should be gone now.
Check, check, check. Is he still here, Nico?
No, obviously it's gone. Okay, we're good.
Good thing we did the check.
That's why we do it. Anyway, and then Ace, you can confirm that the stream is going on and we're not just talking to ourselves over on Discord. This light's annoying me. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Probably look a little worse, but it's fine. Yeah, I look awful right now. Okay. Anyway, it's good. No one's here to look at us. It's about our voices. Okay, so if that's all good, then I will start. Let me explain. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'll start the recording. In 3, 2. The camera's not below you guys, but anyway, welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everyone, to the Be Warmed and Be Filled podcast. We're back. And we don't have everyone here, but we do have some of the guys, the bros, the family. We got Ace.
What's up?
We got Ghost.
Yo.
And we got myself, Quest Lando. Guys, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Not too bad.
Actually pretty good.
Yeah, and I can't complain either. Although I'm feeling fake self-conscious about my parents right now. But I blame that on the climate, temperature, etc. The time I'm recording is the smack dab middle of the year. And there's a nice little heat wave going on. So yeah, everyone definitely, make sure you're cool. You're staying cool and drinking water. But enough about weather advisories. Before we jump into the main content of the podcast, we always like to start off by doing all the, podcast intro stuff. So, if you're ever in the mood or you're ever looking for new music, who's not looking for new music? We do a nice song selection of the week, working title, in which, if you're looking for new songs, new artists, you can look in our description below, and we provide a nice Spotify playlist of all the songs that we think are worth recommending for the week. And after the podcast, we also just go in the description and add like the full list if you just want to actually look at the list of the songs that we recommend this week. And speaking of the description, if you're watching the podcast or if you want to watch the podcast but you really just want to know what topics that we're talking about, you can find all that in the description below, but you can also find timestamps if you just want to, go around, look at the content, go, zip around if you don't want to watch the entire thing. And if you just want to watch a shorter version of any of our content, we have our condensed shorter videos on the channel. Go to the videos tab and you can find all our topic videos. And there was one other thing I want to... Oh, speaking of topics, this goes out to everyone else on the podcast, listeners, anyone. I guess that's all. That's the only people that can be included. If there's any topics that you think would be worth us ever going over, feel free to shoot it to us, and we'll get it, and we'll break it down to the best of our ability. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to look at topics and have the deeper conversation that nobody else has. And speaking of topics, I don't think there's any other content recommendations to go over, any other thing to go over. So I think if there's nothing else, we can get right into it. So let me go here for a second. Nice little stock picture of the week. blow this up. Nice. Okay. Then we come here, and those names are out of order. It's always y'all too. Problematic. Anyway, while I fix those names. So, starting off here, and it's not necessarily meant to be a whole topic, just in case you missed it. This happened a few weeks ago at this point. We always come on here and we talk about, lists when it comes to artists, maybe genres, movies, shows, there's always a list to talk about. Especially since we're like, hip hop adjacent. And there probably are even lists out there that for comedians that we could have bumped into in the past. But one thing that doesn't get talked about a lot, but in this day and age, it is worth talking about it. The funniest people on the internet. Well, salute to Complex. They actually made a list. So, like I said, not necessarily to be a whole topic, but I'm definitely interested to know what y'all think of this list. For better or for worse, how many of the individuals we're all familiar with. And just break it down real quick. Maybe even see if we more or less agree with the list or not. I actually looked at it a little bit beforehand, and I think I'll wait to the end to say whether they got it right or not. But I think a lot of names on here are worth it. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to it. Is it worth reading the little thing? It's not. Anyway, they go from condescending. That's not condescending. Sorry, they go from bottom to top. So starting at number 20, Caleb Presley. And we don't have to say too much time on any one person unless you have something to say. My main questions are we familiar with this brother?
Yes, he is pretty funny.
Okay. Ace, you're all the way on mute for some reason.
Sorry, checking the stream. No, not familiar.
Okay. Well, I have seen clips of their interviews that they do, and they go for that humor that's kind of like Bobby, what's her face? Kind of awkward. But
Altov. Yeah. It's kind of absurdist in a certain way, and I'd say more like Zach Galifianakis than Bobby Altov, but
you're throwing out. It goes in the seem like he's the expert on this one, so I'm gonna let it rock. But yeah, salute to him. He landed a nice spot, Last but not least, as they say. Who else we got? Oh, also, this is what I like. This is what we do got to give Complex a big salute for anybody that's not familiar with the person in question. They provide a nice little clip. So for people that if you really want to find out why they're on the list, they provided some clips. Some clips are a better representation than others for some of the people, but we can continue. Next, Gillian Wallow, $1 million worth of game. You familiar with these brothers?
No, I don't think so.
Damn. Y'all, this list is gonna expose who's really in tune with the culture or not. So man, so listen to Gillian Wallow. They make some of the best podcasts, some of the best interviews. The only reason why it looks a bit funny is because, funny, yes, no pun intended, because they don't really, their main content, the $1 million worth of game podcast, they're not really funny on there. They're really just having good conversations. Like they're like one of probably the best podcasters in the world. So it's kind of funny how they made the list. Their funny content is always like them just interacting with each other. I guess since we have to give respect to Gillian Wallow, I guess we can quickly look at their clip that Complex provided. See if you gotta get a laugh. Even though I say that, and some of the clips are funny, but whenever you're going to something like, I always feel like it's kind of messed up because like, hey, look at this guy, he's super funny. And then you show somebody a clip and there's going to be like, oh, this is what you're laughing at? But anyway, let's see what Complex sees a good representation.
This nut-ass nigga talking to some lady from that run the bank. He gonna tell her he lived in a gated community for 20 years. and went to Penn State. Get the fuck out of lying to that white woman like that.
Cuz. Prison is a community, and it's gated. I didn't fucking lie. How did I lie to her?
Prison is a community.
It's a community of people. A community of people. You know what a community is? A bunch of people in one place. That's a community, and it's gated. Like that don't make no sense. It's gated. Like you act like it's a gate around it. Stupid. And I went to Penn State. The penitentiary is in the state. Dummy. You know, you just, I'm not arguing with you. Hey, I'm in here talking to the president of the bank. You talking about some business. Hey, what's up? And we gonna make some moves. You worrying about you looking at me like I'm telling the lady something wrong. She's like, where you, I told her I was, on the way for a while.
Fucking
I used to live in the
illness,
gated
man.
community.
Man, salute to Gideon Wallow.
These
Philly's
guys,
finest.
Maybe they are. Maybe I have seen them before. They look vaguely familiar.
We haven't. They definitely get my cosign. Some brothers should check out. Anyway, as we continue. New York Nay. Now, my apologies, Miss Nay, but I don't know this person from a can of paint. Y'all familiar? We familiar with these with sisters?
No.
Nope.
Dang, what are you 0 for 3 at this point? Anyway, yeah, so to them, they're probably just have to be some level funny to be on this list, right? Right? Oh, fingers crossed. Let's continue.
She has New York humor. It's got to be funny.
Vince Staples, the first rapper, depending on how you look up this list. Yeah, it's kind of strange, like, another person. I guess not officially you can say that they are like in the business of being funny with their show. Although before, whenever people would say Vince is mad funny, it's literally based off his like interviews and how he talks and how he just views life. But yeah, obviously, before he was just kind of speaking his mind. I don't think he was trying to be actually funny. But yeah, obviously, if you look at some of his interviews, which I think the clip they pull from, he obviously Vince is hella funny. Could have channeled a bit more humor and congruentness into the show, but that's neither here nor there. He did get renewed for the second season, which even though the show was the show, I'm happy for the brother. So to Vince Staples, on the artists I respect the most. Let's continue. Cameron and Mace, man, here come all the rappers. And I'm surprised. I'm like, again, I'm looking at this list about just people that like. When you first think of the funny people on the list, funniest people on the internet, I don't know what you guys interpret that as. Maybe like the internet comedians or like the people that make skits and stuff. Which they will be on this list, but they ended up putting Cameron and Mace on this list. And like, I guess Cam has always been pretty funny throughout his career. I don't know about Mace, but yeah, I think they definitely were able to get a hot spot on this list because of their podcast. It is what it is. One of the best sports show I've ever seen. They came on. They came online just were instantly natural at just having good conversation around sports. Yeah, Cam is mad funny, and Mace can be really funny too. The only criticism I would give is Complex should have put, and I should have, my bad. Oh, actually, maybe we can pull it up real quick. They put this clip of them reacting to Diddy home getting raided, which we can watch real quick. But what they should have put is when they were talking about who's the NBA player that was potentially involved with Ice Spice for a bit. You remember, Ghost?
Oh, Jordan Poole.
Yes. You can watch this, but you gotta go to YouTube real quick and pull up Cameron and Mace talking about Jordan Poole. That shit's funny.
Oh Lord.
You want me to do that first?
Yeah, do that. I guess I could have did that and sent you the clip, but yeah, this shouldn't take too long. We're just kind of going through this list. It's nothing. We don't need to speed run this. Even though we don't want to be on all night because we got other topics that probably will take a bit longer. Cameron and Mace. Talk about Jordan Poole. I probably should put Ice Spice too, but We do it live.
Search algorithm is garbage.
Yeah, I think it's that first one.
Shocking.
Although
Right.
I don't have to watch the entire 3 minutes.
All right, start it.
Yeah, I think this might be a bit more than the actual thing. It seemed like some other person's clip, but we'll watch a bit of it. I just want that main clip when he was talking about it. Go ahead.
Right.
Jordan Poole, you spent $500,000 on a Ice Spice date.
He's a munch.
You're a munch, and you're playing like a fucking munch. This is
Come on, man.
yeah. Draymond Green said he gave some speech before he got on the bus and said, "Whoever don't get on it." This is what Steph said to the team.
Yeah.
If you get on this bus, you obligated to get water, to get rebounds, to get whatever. Don't get on this bus if you're not obligated. This game 7, they don't come around. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a problem with you if you don't do what you're supposed to.
Jordan Poole must have had his headphones on.
Pissing me off. I'm not gonna
He
lie.
be playing like he's at Dykeman or something.
Listen, man, Jordan Poole, listen, man, we had this combo last motherfucking show. You are stinking it the up since you got that bag. And Andrew Wiggins too. I don't know what happened personally and everything else, but y'all can't be grabbing 140, 130 million and disappearing, not giving the media knowing what's going on. Now, if you have some personal shit, trust me, I just went through some personal shit. I dig it, but niggas knew what I went through. I told niggas what happened. That's what happens when you have a job. You have to tell niggas what happened, and maybe Golden State knew, but the media is going to speculate.
Right.
Jordan Poole, you spent $500,000 on a Ice Spice date.
He's a munch.
You're a munch, and you're playing like a fucking munch. This is not you from last year, bro. Go back to Milwaukee and figure it the fuck out and get back in the playoffs because you look crazy. It's because I had your back last year. You got niggas out here talking about, what was all that Jordan Poole shit you was popping? You fucking
Yo,
a
Gillen,
munch.
chill.
You're a munch because I got his back.
Order in
See, a
the
lot of
court.
niggas don't know Jordan Poole was in the G League.
Yeah.
And then he had to come back, and I'm like, nigga got his just due. Now you a munch. I better see a fucking difference. Because let me tell you something. What Steve Kerr is doing, this is what Steve Kerr is doing. He's putting you out there against the niggas your age. Ja Morant's killing you.
Yo, get him a towel, killing you, sweating too much.
He pissing me off. I'm sick of that nigga.
This nigga Jordan Poole, I knew he was bugging. This nigga did an in and out and ran the nigga over. I said,
because he's erratic. Because what happens is this.
You wild.
What happens
All
is this,
right, all
when you
right.
start
Let's
dating the
not.
Ice Spices,
All right, actually, a little more.
and the people, they say, boo watching. Boo watching. Let me get all crazy because she don't give a fuck. She from the Bronx, bro. Fordham Road. Have you been to Fordham Road? Jordan Poole, when next time you go to New York, go around Fordham Road, Concourse, High Bridge, South Bronx. You gonna see what you spent $500,000 on and be like, yo, I was wild.
You was wild. You could have got her a pizza.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to watch the Ways What It Is show, go watch it. Salute to Cameron and Mace. They're funny. Sorry. Even I got caught up in it. Back to the list. Let's keep going. Come on, let's speed through some of this. Lou Ratchet. Y'all familiar with his brother?
I think
It's
so.
familiar, but I can't recall anything specific.
If
Well,
I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah.
Well, as you can see by that YouTube play, he got a million people that are familiar with him. I think the most known skit is when especially because of the Drake and Kendrick Lamar shit. When he's you be around them, he be messing around with minors. But yeah, he makes skits. He's obviously super hard.
Does he rap?
I've never heard him rap, so I'm gonna say no. But he might have a sneaky freestyle somewhere. All these people online have a freestyle somewhere. Just keep going. If you want to watch the clip, you got Complex posted it. Cenat. Salute to Cenat. I'm surprised he made the list too because I don't know. When I think of Cenat, I just think of the best streamer. But I guess the
I
best
think
streamer.
it's just people that are funny and have an internet presence. I think that's all this list.
That's what these lists always do. Unfortunately, kind of become in who has the most clout. But I think they did a good job also prioritizing funniness. And obviously his stream be entertaining. He does a lot. He's been doing a lot of IRL stuff. Salute to the brother. We all know Cenat. We don't gotta ask who do we know who that is. And Phantom. Salute to AMP in general. I'm surprised they put other AMP individuals on the list. Even higher than Cenat. Yeah, like salute to Phantom. Just incredibly funny. Also brings that New York energy. Super well deserved. They do a lot of GTA RP. Definitely well deserved. Zoe Spencer. Again, and I kind of am mad at myself that I'm not familiar with the ladies on this list. But are we familiar with the sister?
No.
She looks kind of familiar, maybe.
Well, so let's
talk.
Well, according to Complex, since we don't know her, we got to do our research. They're up and coming content creator who's quickly growing a following of 1.9 million on TikTok. They use skits. They seem like they're doing their thing. I'm never gonna not respect somebody for working hard. And I'm just leave it at that.
Two clips.
Lou Young. We familiar with this brother?
Nope.
No.
That's a damn shame, Ghost. They make some of the best sports related skit content. Like we'll watch a clip again. I almost feel like with any of these brothers, like I'm not super in the know about them. I feel like almost like inclined to give a disclaimer, but once you start giving a disclaimer, it's already whack. But we can just give a good little representation. If we had all the time in the world, we'd watch all these clips. So
Then you give him a clip, or maybe
is that clip like?
I gotta click. Oh,
there we go.
Computer struggling. All right.
Ooh, I'm gonna boo the hip hops. You know how we do. Back in Happy Tasting Tuesdays. As you know, it's your host with the most. You know, it's Big Shay, not the little ones. But you know how we do. Beautiful, blessed mornings. We are blessed. We woke up, so we had nothing to be stressed about. We had Total Wines and Moors. Here to drop off a little virtuosos, some of our reports that we are doing. Today's we have some fan love. We just dropping in, putting some blessings in your hearts. Also, you see the drip, the green on green, the neon, the Ninja Turtle, orange. Can't forget about the bag. Got a little off-whites. Shout out to my go-getters out there. Shout out to my playmakers out there. We always gonna put on for the naysayers and the haters out there. Those who can't talk, those who talk will do. So we walk when we talking and we bossing up every days. You know, late nights, early mornings. Well, we don't complain. We just don't make excuses. And you already know we're gonna do something before do something. New heights, new stratospheres, new atmospheres. You know what it is. Big deuces. That's just what we do.
Jesus. Who's Lou Young?
I think I need to see the original clip for better context.
Yeah, I gotta see that. To me, was not.
Y'all missed when Shannon Sharp came out the car?
Yeah.
Damn, man, I picked the wrong people to go over this complex list of things that happen on the internet. Anyway, let's keep going. 85 South. Salute to the 85 South show. The only criticism I have with this is that they didn't separate these brothers out, because you could argue there's different degrees of funniness. So to Karlous, so to Chico Bean, and so to DC Young Fly. They all deserve their own respective spots, but I can understand why they just pulled them all together. Yeah, just super hardworking brothers. Like one of the few groups that are podcasting while traveling. Yeah, and they do the when they can wilding out. Yeah, they go crazy. Malik B. I feel as if I see this brother's skits from time to time, but are y'all more familiar?
I'd have to see a skit.
Yeah,
because he's just looking kind of like a generic brother.
Okay, well, since you asked for it, Complex gave it. Let's look at it. When you run into a fling at a function.
You know.
sorry.
Same shit, same
Oh,
shit.
nah, whatever. You don't even fuck with me no more.
Oh, here you go. You don't even fuck with me no more.
Stop playing with me. You fuck with that dark skin dude with the Hellcat. I know about him.
Okay. You're doing a lot. You're doing too much right now.
What's up? I miss you.
Yeah, I bet.
Who you here with?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it?
No.
Man, see, you always give me that little stanky ass attitude.
Okay, well, you are choking me, so please.
Man, whatever. Now, shit, I can't touch you now?
Can you get off me?
Copyrighted.
I deserve you for real.
I got it that loud to avoid it.
I swear to God, I manifested this. I put you on my 2024 vision board, and look, here you are, though.
You just be lying. You did not do that.
I'm not lying, bro.
You're
When I
lying.
go to sleep, I wake up in cold sweat knowing you not laid up next to me.
Oh my God.
For real.
You are so dramatic.
Alright, yeah, I don't know this guy actually.
Well,
I wasn't too impressed with that clip, but maybe he is funny. Didn't do nothing.
Yeah, we obviously can't go off one, although this is what Complex says a good reputation. It's like when you trying to put somebody onto an artist, you gotta bring in their bangers. Anyway, you know, they still must work hard, so salute to them. Hopefully they didn't just go. I can't just beat by who has the highest following, because Cenat has a high following. Cameron and Mace have high followings, respectively. Okay, let's keep going. Desi Banks. We're all familiar with his brother, right?
Yes, Desi
Oh.
Banks is. I don't know who's above him on this list, but he is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, this dude's
That's interesting. I'll save it till we see certain responses. But all right, we got people know who he is, and people say it's funny, so we ain't gotta waste any more time on it.
I saw this. Yeah, this. Yes, this dude is mad funny.
Curvo Dolo? You familiar with his brother?
Yeah, we gonna have to play a skit because I got no clue. This dude is.
Okay, 1.3 on Instagram. We're the ones that are lacking. Let's see what the brother content is looking like.
Come on. I might have to click the link.
Well, while it's going, let's see. He quickly become one funny personality on the internet. He's tremendous run for his Karen and Haitian parents kids. Okay, so the brother's Haitian. I can see it.
Oh
This
wait,
might be
okay.
hilarious.
I think I know this dude.
What's up, Dad? This is my friend. He stay right down the street from us.
I'm right down the street.
Come on,
You
man.
right down that street?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? What's good, sir? Hey, your name? What's your name? My name Drake. Dwight? Yeah, Where you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
You smoke?
No, sir.
You drink?
No.
You go to jail?
Dad.
No, I need to ask him before you put somebody in my car. Because I don't know him. He can be a problem.
You think I'll do that?
It's what is in your mouth?
Gold.
He good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying, oh, fun war, shake it, everybody. Shake down your heart, I just want to go away.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, you like that one, man?
Yeah, what you know about that,
TikTok.
Pity.
Yeah, TikTok, man. No, I can be cool too, man. Come on, yes. Come on. I know that one.
Man,
Yes. Queen, when I name, whatever was it? Why we worry? Nobody worry. Yes, man.
like your pop, man.
Yeah, that's what they, man. Thank you.
All right.
So to the brother. He created a following, so he's doing something right. Who else we got? Funny Marco. Obviously, there's no way this list was gonna avoid him. Obviously, it's in the name. If you're a fan of dry humor, look no further than Funny Marco. We all know who the brother is.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I might actually give you literally homework because even though I'm not a fan of like these style of interview, you go after this, go watch Funny Marco interviews. You got to know. It's top 6. You got to know. So you can do that. What else? What else we got? Theo Vaughn. Who said that? Y'all familiar with his brother?
Yeah.
I'm
The
familiar with
vaguely.
them, but I don't.
I haven't seen anything
I haven't
that's
seen a lot
that
of his
puts him
stuff,
on
but from
this
what I've
list.
seen, it hasn't really been that funny. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater.
Oh, they're top 5 funniest people according to comic book material. Who else we got?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Sure, Rags. Sound like we're all familiar with the brother. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has a huge following. People love the skits. Um, I'm not really. The point is, the point of going through is not to say who we rock with or don't rock with. So just salute to them. Super funny. Keep going. RDC, man, I love seeing these brothers win. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I don't think if you outside of us, if you don't know, you should know. These brothers work so goddamn hard. They really deserve a lot of things that they've achieved. Yeah, salute to them every way. It's just super funny, authentic. Salute to them. And they be streaming. Go check them out on Twitch. Number 2, I feel as if a lot of people don't know this brother, but like, I super respect this rating. Ben and Don, like, he's one of the few folks who were like, whenever he drops a skit, like I watch it and they're like the vast majority of them are actually good. Like, salute to them. Like I was surprised to see him this high up, but I'm super like Complex got right. Salute to them. They're doing really big things. And if you do need a good representation of how fun they are, I mean, obviously there's a clip provided, but that stream that Cenat, Drewski, and Kevin Hart just did, he was involved with it, and like that stream was just wild front to back. So salute to him. And speaking of Drewski, obviously since you haven't seen him anywhere on this list, you already know what's coming. At number 1, the big man himself. Yeah, I think in a lot of ways it makes sense. Obviously, almost everyone knows who Drewski is. They had mad funny skits. They created a whole like movement with the could have been and making it a show and doing auditions. Like, they really created a movement seemingly out of nothing. So like, you got to give them credit for doing it ground up, just being super funny, not really giving a damn about things. Yeah, salute to them, full force. Yeah, and that's it. That's the list. I guess the question that you could ask, because I know one off the top of my head, is there anyone that you guys think is funny that could have been on this list easily, or could have made this list? I'll start with me. If you don't know, Haha Davis, I'm like, that's the real reason why they got this.
Yeah.
They got this wrong, especially since, I mean, not that I know every one of these people, and I don't want to diminish anyone on here, but Haha Davis is like makes hella bigger content, so that's a damn shame they didn't make it on the list. How about y'all?
It's a good pick.
And as you see, it doesn't even have to be somebody that like is in the business of doing skits or does like a funny podcast. It can be like, it seems like they have a good range of people that they have rappers that just happen to be funny, like Vince. So y'all, based off the lenient parameters, who y'all think, have anybody that comes to mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Niles. Niles is still making consistent.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, they didn't add anybody from that clique or that squad. Yeah, even Caleb City could have easily made a list like this. Yeah,
they're not as popular as they used to be, but in their heyday, yeah, without a doubt. Both
it is right now. Because if we talk about forever, then you go to like Super Hot.
But I'm saying, even still, like, I still watch, I keep up with Niles' content. It's still as funny as it has ever been. I don't think there's as many people watching it, but yeah, it's still great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got anybody else?
I don't know. I think y'all covered it. There's probably someone that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, but I should say I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. But
I will say if I followed Shaq more, I probably would put him on this list.
Shaq.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would count. I mean, he's funny, but I'd say Charles Barkley is funnier.
Oh, okay.
But again, he's not really like, he doesn't have an internet presence outside of the stuff that gets posted from inside the NBA.
Yeah, I think I'd be like direct to consumer internet on the internet. I think that's one of the caveats. Although, I don't know, would Vince count then if that's the qualifications? I don't know.
I don't know. Vince feels like kind of a stretch in general compared to most of these people, actually.
No, Vince is funnier than some of these people.
No, I'm not saying how funny he is. I'm just saying, like, as far as the content he puts out that's funniest, like interviews. Like, he doesn't have a podcast, right? He doesn't. He just has.
That's what I was saying. I think what got him on the list is the show. But fair enough.
Gambino could have got on the list.
Well, you can't just only be funny on your show. On your show, you have to be funny like other places too.
Is Donald Glover like? Actually, I know he used to do comedy and he was on.
He used to be on Community, and Community's hella funny. Don't come out here trying to slander no. No, Ann. Ain't no Ann.
They said okay. I will say they said no
stand up. Is he funny just in general beyond that?
Oh yeah, and he did literal stand up. He literally did stand up.
Never mind.
I mean, if you want to break it down, yes, he's funny.
No, okay.
But fair enough. And yeah, I'm sure whenever lists come out, everybody has an opinion. There's probably we can't even think about all of them, but there's probably mad people who feels if they should be on the list or somebody that they rock with should be on the list. I feel as if when Sharon posted it, there's probably a lot of comments of people that also could have been on it. But one thing that one person that on the list that commented on the list was one of the folks that you guys pointed out. Goes to that third tab. Desi Banks. Go over one thing. So this was his initial reaction when they posted it. Guess my black ass ain't ish. Damn. Thanks for the fuel. Stuff like this motivate my black ass. So obviously unironically, what was it, 8? Like top 10. I think I would feel like super comfortable, especially when there's like 20 people on the list. But he feels like he probably could have been a bit higher, and he sees that motivation.
To be honest, he should have been. He's funnier than a lot of those other dudes in the top 10, but.
I mean, this isn't. But go back to it real quick, because again, I wanted to keep it just pretty just acknowledge.
We can't.
But if
without some type of ranking.
But if I'm having an honest conversation, I think he's lucky to be on the top 10. If you look at the consensus, or not the consensus,
he's funnier than Theo Vaughn. He's funnier, in my opinion, than DC the Don.
DC the Don? Ben the Don. Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Funnier than...
funnier than Funny Marco.
Funny Marco.
Definitely give him that. He's probably funnier than this. Definitely probably funnier than those two. Okay, all right. I'll agree with you.
Even RDC. RDC is definitely funny, and they're more entertaining without a doubt. Like skits and stuff, but pure comedy. I don't know if they've said they make me laugh more than
Now you reach.
It's debatable, but
it ain't really
the top 5 minimum.
I think you can push him off 3 spots. I agree with you. He can get top 5, but only because of and that's the thing, guys. It's right now. Like I was about to say earlier. If you look at a lot of what the online says, he was incredibly funny when he came out, but like these days, some of the skits ain't like. I don't want to pull up a recent clip just because a recent skit because it's never really reflective of how funny a person can be. But I'll be honest, he just did a skit with Future and Metro Boomin. Man, it's literally like this shit is not funny. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Maybe I'll post it.
Yeah, you may be right because I'm thinking of like years ago the stuff he did on YouTube, the stuff he did with Candace Harris. That shit was hilarious. But
Yeah,
I
I think
kept too much over this new stuff, so maybe he's not as funny.
I think this is just an example, for better or for worse, of a brother, who's like done so much skits and has done so much content. Like it's almost like the well's dried up a bit. Like you gotta either make room for new talent or you gotta move on to new type of content. Like you can't make the 50th when you pull up when you like how you in when you pull up in the hood like it. Like I'm. But again, I still think the brother does work incredibly hard. He deserves a lot of success, so he's where he needs to be. I think that's a very great spot for him, to be honest with you. And I think in that if you go back to the Shade Room post, I think he clarified that I'm not playing big. I'm not because I care that much about comedy. It's all good. I'm gonna keep doing my thing and elevating the real world, doing the real ish. Also, with doing social media, but doing social media. This is a way of saying he's gonna keep it up. He's not gonna let this get him down. He's gonna keep doing it like how he's always done. So I salute to the brother. If this pushes anybody to make funnier content or go harder, no one can complain about that. But if there's nothing else, we'll go on to the next topic. Sorry, I don't want to rush anything, but I think it's been like about 40 minutes.
Of course, that one was going to take long.
Well, I think it's just because the logistics of actually going through the list and stopping to look at other content around it, and some of these things should be real brief. Like this, for example. Yes. This is literally, there's not a whole topic or question to talk about. I just really just brought this because it's really ironic how I looked at this news like as soon as we kind of wrapped the podcast last week. And the podcast last week we were talking about, what were we talking about? What were we talking about? How I got into a whole thing.
The Killer Mike.
Yes, Killer Mike has some solutions for how to address child support and marriage for young brothers and sisters. And I went into a little Lando rant about how, I think we damn near... I could imagine a world in which they had a system in place in which all young brothers have to join the military or join a military system in which they they learn training, discipline, intensive exercise, and really learn leadership and how to be strong young men. Because if you look at other countries, they force you to enroll in the military and do some level of service. And while I don't think people in the state should have to do that, I think some level of, not even a whole 4 years, 2 years, just once you get out of high school, a good literally that summer, make them do a training camp, and you would see the improvement of males in our society. But I guess the United States government took it one step further. U.S. passes defense bill automatically registering men 18 to 26 for United States draft. Also known as the selective service. So yeah, this is just news. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, because if you apply for certain government aids, they automatically already enroll you. So if you enrolled in financial aid, which a lot of us have, you're automatically you were in the selective service, in our whatever you want to say. So that's you could be in it and not even know this type of thing. Now I will say that I say that from a perspective of somebody that was applying for financial aid back in the early 2010s. We are in a different time and era, and I don't want to downplay how this could impact somebody's life in a certain way in this day and age. But again, this is news. to all the young boys can take it how they want. Is it only males? That's I gotta yeah. I think it's only men. Does anyone care about that? Does anyone feel like that's sexist?
Equal rights.
Yeah. I mean, why is it only men?
I mean,
You're about to get him canceled.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's what the government. That's what the government said. You have a problem with it?
Smart answer.
I guess I read a little bit.
Correct.
Because people just see the headline, but they might not know some of the intricacies of it. So, on Friday, June 14th, the Republican-controlled House has now passed a measure mandating that men between the ages of 18 and 26 will be automatically registered for the U.S. military selective service system. Although the draft hasn't been launched, hasn't been invoked in over half a century. It is currently mandatory for all males in United States citizens. For all male United States registered for the selective service upon turning 18 years old. Failure to do so is considered a felony, and many legal consequences will ensue. The defense bill, which was led by Representative Christy Houlihan, DPA, arrived as a part of the annual National Defense Authorization Act, the NDA, which plans out the U.S. government's military and national security priority for the next fiscal year. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Different people have different reactions. Salute to Cardi B, salute to Amanda Seales. You can go look at that on your own. Although we'll play a little bit of Cardi B's, because I'm gonna be honest. Because like I said, this just puts this this just enrolls you for the selective service. That doesn't mean you're gonna have to do any military training. It doesn't, in theory, it doesn't necessarily impact your life whatsoever. It just means if something were to pop off and the draft was invoked, like they said, you would have to be called in action. But seeing how if you call the average citizen, and especially in this day and age, to the draft, I think Cardi B is kind of on point with what they're saying. Let's listen to just a little bit of it.
Saying that the House just passed a bill that they're going to automatically register men from 18 to 26 for war, okay? And all I want to say is to America, good luck with that. These new little niggas are TikTokers, baby. These motherfuckers ain't gonna fight no war. We gonna die. You gonna die. You might as well just keep motherfucking investing money in your guns, because these new kids, you want to send these new kids to fight these wars? The TikTok fucking hip shakers? Out of your mind. This is a new America, baby. This ain't the 19 motherfucker. Nah, seriously, you gonna just...
So it's the Cardi B. Yeah, God forbid something ever pops off. I think a lot of people, unironically, I think a lot of people are going the Malcolm X route. They're not going. Why? Why would I go? But yeah. But one thing we always have to say is salute to all the men and women that are
Malcolm X route.
Yeah, Malcolm X, unless I'm misremembering my history, famously or infamously dodged the draft and was punished for it. Oh, me dumbass. Thank you. Because I did wrong. Sorry, Muhammad Ali. I was like, what?
That's what I was thinking of. I just didn't know if I was missing something.
No, you got. That's why. This is why.
This is the best of us.
This is why yes, quality assurance on podcast, because sometimes some people just be talking, no one's correct them. Thank you. My apologies. I'm not Malcolm X. Muhammad Ali. Dad draft dodging. Anyway, but yeah, I was gonna say salute to everyone that is in the military. Salute to everybody that does enlist and actually wants to be a service to the country. Yeah, we'll have to give salute to them. But again, just and I hope anyone ever does come to our podcast for news, but this is what's going on currently. There's nothing else, we can move on to the next topic.
Glad I ain't 26. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, even if you were,
Something good about being old.
But did you have financial aid?
Yeah, I had to sign up for it, but I'm out of the age threshold now.
Yeah,
You can't draft me.
Now, gosh, this thing's being stupid.
Again, I don't think it can impact the vast majority of people, but it might cause a bit of panic.
I don't think it's gonna go through. It still has to pass through the Senate.
Why wouldn't it go through?
Because the Senate could vote against it, and
the Senate could vote against anything. You didn't answer why it wouldn't go through. You just answered
because the Senate is not politically aligned with the House of Representatives on everything.
This is true, but historically, I mean, what if there's evidence?
I mean, the article itself said that it was unlikely to pass the Senate.
Hollywood Unlocked said it's unlikely to pass the Senate.
No, not Hollywood Unlocked. Fox.
Oh, Fox.
We don't read articles here. What are we talking about?
I tend to read articles, okay. I'm not well equipped enough to speak about it. It doesn't really, and I guess it's the bill, not that specific aspect of it. Maybe that aspect, Congress could be, or the Senate could be aligned on, but maybe the other aspects of that entire bill that the government is not. So, my apologies on that. Okay. Regain my focus. Okay, so going back to some funny, quote unquote, even though it's not really funny at all, but going back to some of the people that were on the list. So to Karlous, I'm gonna be honest. So I saw an ad recently for a College Hill show that had Karlous, Nick Young, Tamara Braxton. And I thought it was like a meme. I thought, like, why would these individuals be on a show about going to school? And Black China, which I like prefer to be called Angela White. It looked like some meme shit. And then I'm going through their timeline, and I see this clip. And I guess I'll let the clip speak for itself. The caption is Karlous M was cooking, and then I guess you guys can let me know if he was truly cooking or if it was actually he wasn't even in the kitchen. It's kind of long. We might, parse it out, but I'll see what you guys think.
Millionaires and billionaires drive past those people every day.
It's not their problem.
And keep it moving. It's all of our problems, ultimately. Absolutely.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
I don't.
Why not?
I just don't.
I've never heard someone say homelessness is not their problem.
Pause it.
It's not your problem.
So, again, I didn't know this was a real thing. College Hills with these people is kind of strange. But anyway, I guess a little context. It's not like they're, obviously having a class and they're kind of getting into a subject about homelessness. Something that is an unfortunate plight in the United States. I mean, it's obviously a global thing. It's homelessness all around the world, but in the context in the U.S. And it sounded like the professor. I would like to know, are these people actually professors or are they just talkers? Was getting to a point about how people that haves often pass by the have-nots, and Karlous Miller sounds like he have a hot take, and let's hear why he has his view about how it's not other people's problems about homelessness.
Never heard that before.
What?
It's not my problem.
The people who are in power right now who sit at the office every day and push the button and say, these billions go over here, these billions go over here. That can be ended overnight if the people who were in power decided that was the priority.
Every problem in the world, like, we gotta fix it because it's wrong. Like, no, don't work like that.
For homelessness,
There's a real answer for a real problem.
if you really cared about this, you would vote for the people who could change this.
I don't get your theory. Are you for it or against it?
Am I for what or against it?
Homelessness.
What do you mean? Why would I be for homelessness?
I don't know why Karlous is offering so much pushback. We just got here. I just feel like a lot of it is just unnecessary. Like, what are you doing? You're disrupting the class. Hush. Simmer down, old man. Your philosophy is What?
They could take parking ticket money and end homelessness in LA if they wanted to do that.
Right, but we know they're not going to do it, so should we just give up and say, F it, it ain't our problem because we're not the government? No.
They have millions of dollars set aside.
I think everybody was surprised about Karlous' take on the homeless bill. How you gonna try to come up with a bill that you don't believe in?
You made all that NBA money, you didn't buy none of them homeless people no house.
Oh.
Exactly, so shut your ass up.
Calm down.
You made millions. You could have helped one or two of them ladies.
I gave back to my community.
No, you didn't.
I
You
gave
gave
back
them
to my
some clothes
community.
and some food on the holidays. Did you get them a crib? No.
Shit, I could barely buy myself a crib in LA. I bought my mama and myself.
No.
He's just talking out the side of his mouth. It's hard to believe that somebody really thinks like this.
Everybody got problems.
First day of school and somebody's already acting like this. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Why you have a house?
Because I worked really hard. I worked really,
People can't
really
work that hard, though.
Why not?
It's drug addicts that.
But I would like to
They
hear.
chose drugs over home.
Not chose.
Yes, they did. Nobody put that pipe to your lips and made you smoke it.
A drug addiction is a disease.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's a choice.
No, it ain't.
Bro, you are writing a bill and then you present it to a black senator. That's pointless. You know exactly what I'm saying.
Jesus. Anyone feel compelled to check out the life and time of these people going to college?
Yeah, this did seem pretty entertaining.
Nice. That's what I like to hear. Enthusiasm. Anyway, so you heard it. You heard them. There obviously sounds like they're even theorizing what a potential bill to help the issue of homelessness would look like. But as you heard, Karlous had some level of pushback for the potential bill or for the exercise in general. And I think this is a sentiment that is not like I don't want to say uncommon. I think was like since everyone on the other side, since everyone they were talking to was shocked, it's somewhat uncommon. But I think we've all heard it to a certain degree, and I think it extends past homelessness. I think some people truly have a mindset of if the powers at be aren't actively addressing it when they potentially and possibly could, why should I have I know that's a common sentiment when we talk about the environment. You know, people not really caring about the environment too much because they believe the biggest perpetrators of impacting the environment are big companies, and if they're not doing anything, obviously why should I do anything? So yeah, I think this view is not something that we haven't heard before, but I don't know if we ever had a deep dive on it. So I am kind of curious to hear you guys' take. Yeah, what do you think of? I mean, obviously, I guess the view in general, and do you believe that? I don't know. I guess do you have any level? Do you have a level of agreement with the sentiment that if someone or someone's in power aren't addressing something, then why should we? Let's hear what you have to say, Ace.
I can understand the sentiment to a large degree. I mean, homelessness is a good example, and you also brought up the environment, which is another great example where there's the government, there's people with much more money than the average person.
Yep.
That could, or even organizations or businesses or whatever, like that could make a significant dent at
world hunger,
at the very least. Yeah, at the very least in these global large scale issues. And yeah, that being the case, it truly, like on an individual basis, on just as a normal person, your motivation, like it can't logically be that you think you're actually going to end or even put a dent in any of these things.
What do you mean? That's what those commercials that always asked us to give money always said. Every little bit helps.
I mean, yeah, but you're not actually moving the needle in terms of the actual problem. Like it's going to be there and it's going to extend into perpetuity, whether or not you give, if these larger entities do not actually put a concerted effort into into resolving these issues. So yeah,
Now,
I mean,
hold on a second. You're not telling me that when I try to support the homeless by giving my little spare change, you're telling me that that's not helping the problem?
no, not the not the problem as defined as the global or even national homeless epidemic, hunger. You're not making a dent. No, statistically speaking, you're not making a dent. It's infinitesimally small, the amount you're actually contributing.
So I should just give up then. That's what you're saying. I'm being a bit too sarcastic
Yeah,
for when I'm
no.
trying to have a conversation. Sorry.
Yeah. So what I was gonna get at is that while the individual person, really, like the individual average person really cannot make a significant dent in the problem as a whole, you still like it, and as an individual person, you can still view it on the in terms of just helping another person. So again, going back to your example of just a random homeless person on the street, if you are able to help that person out, that does not mean what you're doing doesn't matter. It's just it's just the scale that we're looking at. You're having a real effect on somebody else's life, which matters. It's just you have to look at it on two different scales. Kind of, it's like one person's life versus the whole issue and the myriad amount of people who are affected by these issues as a whole. And if a person can look at it that way, then um then I mean, I would say, why wouldn't you help another person if if you can just look at it as, I'm helping another person who doesn't have X, Y, or Z.
I mean, because you kind of just told them that in the grand scheme of things, what they're doing doesn't matter. It doesn't move them.
Again, if you could help another person, it matters to that other person. It doesn't affect the problem as a whole, but it definitely matters to that other person. You're still helping another life. So again, like you can't conflate the two things as, just because I can't end world hunger, that doesn't mean I can't help other people.
True. But I think when we look at like problem solving, we typically look at like, or we should try to look at, hey, what is the root of the problem? And if we really want to address it, we address it at the root, not just keep putting band-aids over it.
100%. But are you able to actually affect the root? Like as an
Well, you just
individual
it sounds like
person,
it sounds like you just said we can't, or an individual person can't, or not
the
an average person.
yeah, the average person, they really can't do much. I mean, there are things they can do with, like, which, getting back to this skit, like trying to create a bill or whatever to give to a center or whatever. That is something that where they can try to contribute to the larger problem as a whole. Ultimately, maybe that will be futile. Like, um, um, what's the guy's name here? He's
Carlos,
pointing out
Carlos Miller.
Carlos. Like he's pointing out, but on the individual level, or I shouldn't say um, again, like, just because your efforts may be futile on that grand scheme large level, or yeah, on that grand scheme large level, looking looking at trying to help another person out as being a band-aid to the solution, i don't think really I don't think really makes sense, because you're not, like, if you're given to some homeless person on the street, you shouldn't be looking at that as trying to do anything for
Just had a
the
problem.
these epidemics, because you're not yeah, you're right, you're not really, like, if you are looking at it like that, then yes, it's a band-aid, it's not really helping. But again, why would you look at it like that when it doesn't, like, when you, I think, should look at it as just on the individual basis, on a person to person basis. Just like you would help out a family member if they're going through something, you're not going to think, oh, that's a band-aid for whatever problem that the person's going through. Like the society as a whole has the same problem, and I'm just putting a band-aid on this. No, you're looking at it as I'm helping out my family member, I'm helping out my friend. It's the same thing with another individual that is homeless or whatever. You're helping out an individual. That's the context of what you're doing. Um you're not putting a dent in solving world hunger or solving the homeless epidemic or anything like that.
Yeah. I don't think I'll say, because I want to let Ghost speak as well. To that last part, I would say when we are helping out a person on a more individual level, like a family member, if they come to you with a problem, your mindset is to address the problem. So I don't know if that's necessarily one to one. And I think, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that most people look at it like that, but I think a lot of people would like to think that they are helping address the problem. If you tell them they're not, I think that could not demotivate, desensitize. Like, it could make people what do you mean I'm not addressing the problem? I'm literally helping. What do you mean?
Statistically, like factually, that is incorrect. I mean, there's not. I've. It's not like I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything that or that I'm saying something that's just completely.
No, you're, and that's why there's nothing to really contend with. I'm just, I'm assuming you're hearing what I'm saying as well. Like,
yeah.
People have this thought process, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incorrect thought process, which is partially what I'm saying. Like, if you are thinking that way, it's factually incorrect, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess factually, in my opinion.
Fair enough. What about you, Ghost? What do you think on the topic? Do you think that if do you think it makes some level of sense that if the larger powers or larger people that be aren't in theory helping a problem, that it makes sense for a person or individual person to not want to contribute either, or to try to address the problem?
So it's funny because I was actually thinking about something similar early this week, just randomly. But I am generally a hater and cynical when it comes to certain things. Realistically, Ace is correct in his take, but I don't think it's something that you should use as an excuse to not do anything, even if what you do doesn't end up helping. I don't think that it's good to just not do anything because it'll end up being futile anyways, because it feels kind of like a cop out. And I don't know, it's hard to verbalize, but like, I mean, the tried and true argument against that type of mindset is like, if everyone thought the way that you thought, then no one would end up doing anything, and in that case, there'd be no progress at all, no charity, no help, regardless, because everyone is kind of the mindset that no matter what they do on an individual level, they're not going to change anything. And I don't know. I think that argument is kind of where I'm at on things, even if it's not at the end of the day, like, almost everything that a normal person does in their life is, I don't want to say futile, but it's probably
you mean like the average person?
Yeah, it's probably not going to have an effect on society in general, the world in general. But at the same time, you can never say that whatever you do will, without a doubt, end up being worthless or useless because, again, you're just the average person, and we got 8 billion people, and 99.9% of them are average. But all of that, all of the little stuff, it does add up, and I think if you have that in your head, like if even if what you're doing on an individual level, donating a couple bucks, isn't really doing, it's again like Ace said, factually, objectively, it's not doing anything to solve world hunger, but because you're part of that collective of people that is still willing to do it regardless of the futility, it it does actually make an impact. Like if you have 1 billion people that are donating a penny, that's enough to bypass some country's entire economy.
Yeah.
And I think that if you just take the route of not doing anything because what you do on an individual level doesn't end up mattering, you're right and you're wrong at the same time.
Jesus.
And it's not like a there's not an easy way to express my sentiment, but I just feel like it's a cop out to default to not doing anything because you don't think it's gonna matter. It's more so about the principle of what you stand on and what you're willing to concede and help with, even if you think it doesn't matter. And again, it probably won't, but it doesn't hurt to try, I guess. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Now that what you're saying makes a lot of sense to me. And it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, it was like some old like ancient Chinese, Japan or Japanese proverbs. But kind of going, not in contrast, but kind of going to what you were saying is, what about the old expression as to mm, like the flappings of one butterfly one in one part of the world can lead to like hurricane in another part of the world, like small, it's basically saying small things can translate to a large thing happen. Is that not applicable when you look at because I think, and I don't want to sound like a tangent, I think fundamentally one of the problems here is what you guys are saying is absolutely correct in the grand scheme of things. The acts of individuals can't resolve the uh, problems on a macro level. But then you gotta keep in mind, like, okay, so how do you keep people on an individual level motivated to help and or yeah, be a part of the support the overall goal?
Yeah, that's a good point. I will concede that my logic does not or did not really account for that. Like you do need, if you're if you are if somebody is able to be part of a movement to make a significant change, even if it is the large number of um small changes, or small large number of people with less ability to make the
Mm-hmm.
change versus the smaller number that can make a significant dent. I still think that is a worthwhile pursuit. I mean, I did say that, like,
Yeah.
with the bill thing, I still think it, like an exercise like that, or even if it was something real where you're trying to get people in the community to give signatures to um, put forward a bill or something like that. I still think that is like that's probably the more significant way that a person could actually the average person could actually contribute to making those large scale changes again, rather than um rather than viewing helping just helping a homeless person that you come across, helping that person out. Again, in terms of making a change to homelessness, that's not going to be the way. But but yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that point. Like, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to partake in those movements that try to get a collective number of people together to try to address those, try to actually address the issues from the root cause.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to concede on. I think the point of what you were bringing out is like, just logically speaking, just when you look at the raw data of it, the logistics of it, I mean, it is like it's like the numbers just don't lie. Like, there's no one thing that individual person can do, every individual person can do to actually resolve the problem. But then when we actually look at the other side of it, like, okay, so what makes sense for us to do in light of that or in lieu of that? Then we get to this aspect of the conversation. Yeah, obviously, fundamentally, like, from the scriptures to just like ideas that are passed throughout society, you do what you can. If you have a little, give a little. If you have a lot, give a lot. These things, from tradition to tradition, culture to culture, this seems like something that humans generally understand.
If you lie to yourself and tell yourself that you're making a difference, it'll actually become true if enough people lie along with you.
Oh, shoot. I mean, kind of set a bar there.
Yeah, I will say that I mean, I don't have any problem with somebody like bringing up a discussion like this in a college classroom setting, especially because it's like, this is the stuff that actually makes you think when somebody challenges just the stuff that we kind of go along with and just like, yeah, giving is good, but thinking about
how college
yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think thinking about this stuff in a more rigorous way and challenging just the generic, like, we should do something just because it's good. It's like, no, you should actually question it. Like, why are we doing this, and is there a better way, or is there something that we can put our effort towards that will actually affect this versus just blindly doing something.
Yeah, that's actually facts. And it kind of gets into a whole other conversation about like the structure of college or just organizations and things. Because I mean, well, you say that, and I think we all here agree. I mean, what if you get like, what about you when you get the pushback? Like Tamar Braxton, who was like stunned, like, what do you mean, like? And some other people in the class, like now you got Nick Young in your class asking you, so do you believe, are you for homelessness or not?
Nick Young, man.
Sorry,
I
I
mean,
know.
that's why you got a professor there. Right? Like, the professor should be able to.
The professor was after a while. The professor was like, "All right, man, like."
Y'all figure this out, not me.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know we're not trying to hyperfixate on the actual clip, but it's bad enough you got this random assortment of like, celebrities and athletes. It's just like, what are we talking? I don't know. It's maybe the show is interesting. I don't know. But I feel as if whenever you have shows like that, the goal of it is also to be entertaining. So they might throw a little sauce and ratchetness on it. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. Salute to all the people that are, thinkers, or people that, aren't afraid to, pose the other side of the argument, just so we can actually have a deeper conversation about it. And one last thing, whenever we come to a conversation about homelessness and, things they can do to change, I don't know, it's so ingrained in me now. I always have to mention the fact that, we always talk about, or people talk about, like, giving to homeless people, and, obviously, you should if you can. But if we ever truly did want to tackle the epidemic of homelessness, you gotta find a way to address mental illness. Because if we were able to address, like, mental illness issues in the world, in the States, you would see homelessness vanish almost. But obviously, that's a whole nother systemic problem in itself. But if there's nothing else right now, or no other ways we can address these massive macro problems, we can move on to the next topic. So, yeah,
You said
so
what?
it's Cenat. This, I was looking at it. I was looking at the list again. It's like I basically structured it. We're basically talking about individuals who are on the list. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw this, well, first of all, so was it Dexter 2. I don't know how you say it, but this page on Twitter, they always post a lot of stuff that's going on in the streaming technology, gaming world, so on and so forth. Honestly, I was just going through a lot of content. You could just you can just have an entire podcast where all you do is go over the clips that go across, also the drama that goes on in these spaces, but the clips that this page posts. And obviously, Kai's one of the biggest streamers, so of course, so something somewhat viral goes on, they're gonna capture it. So if you don't know, in case you missed it, I think over the Father's Day weekend, Cenat did an IRL stream in New York when he was with his father, and they were going out in New York and having a whole bunch of IRL streaming adventures. And during that, Kai bumped into some kids, and we'll just play it so you guys can see the interaction. But I'm gonna be honest, when I looked at this, I didn't even necessarily know what's the specific thing I wanted to talk about. I just know I kind of wanted to hear you guys' views on it, because it's even look at the caption. Cenat attempted to stop brain rot, and there was definitely something that you could potentially classify as brain rot going on in this clip. But let's look at it.
Can we dance for you guys?
You said what?
Can we dance for you?
You want to dance with me? All right, go ahead. Okay, come here. Where y'all learned to move from? Where y'all learned to move?
From music videos that say curse words and you.
Y'all know Speed?
Yes. Yeah. You know Didi Osama?
Okay, all right, so you watch Lil Mabu, Didi Osama, Speed, and me. All right, look. Go home, okay? Delete TikTok, delete YouTube, delete Twitch. No. Let me tell you. Delete TikTok, delete YouTube, delete Twitch. Download Coco Melon. You know Coco Melon?
Yeah.
Watch that, okay? Go get a DS. Go play Cookamama. Delete all them apps, all right?
Cookamama. Can we dance for you guys?
Look, Snap.
Yo, that was great.
So obviously there's some bit of jest going on. I think from all parties. I think even these kids are probably just intelligent enough to kind of be self-aware of the dynamics, how this looks. But they also are still relatively young. And this is the thing with this IRL stuff. Like it's not planned. It's not scripted. Like this generally happened. Some kids bumped into them, and their first reaction was, "Hey, I know this super guy from that he streams. I know all the dancing. I know all the crazy stuff that goes on in his life. All the cars, all the hundreds of thousands of people that watch his streams, and the dancing, everything that goes on, and the loudness, the yelling. We've seen quite a few Cenat clips on this podcast alone. So again, so they come up to him and they want to dance for him, and they start going over some of the contents that they consume, and he had to take a step back and be like, "So you guys really consume Lil Mabu, my content, Speed," which I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with. I show Speed on here, and he was like, if he just had that moment of like, what's a good example where you like see the future, where you get that. This is me showing my age. That's so Raven. Like I see the future, and then these kids' future, their brain's gonna turn to mush if they keep consuming the content. So it's like, go home, delete the TikToks and the Twitches and the YouTubes. I don't know why he recommended them to go watch or consume Cocomelon and or play a cooking game on a Nintendo DS, which these kids probably don't own because they probably own PS5s. But that's neither here nor there.
Just saying that whatever is a kid oriented and kid friendly.
Got you.
For
got you.
Older audiences.
Got you. Fair enough. But yeah, he definitely tried to. He did his best. He threw it out there. Obviously, these kids are confused. So, like, why would I go delete Twitch? I watch you on Twitch. Why would I delete TikTok? I see all your clips on TikTok. Why would I delete YouTube? I see all your VODs and stuff on YouTube. That's where I watch Speed. But you gotta give him a salute for at least trying. So I guess again, this raises a lot of probably conversations, but I don't know if I have a direct question. I guess real quick, what do you guys think of this interaction? Do you think it's worthwhile for somebody to try to navigate people that obviously consume their content away from it? It's kind of like that thing of like, would anybody respect if who's a good example? I guess the people I'll default to 21 Savage. 21 Savage is probably isn't the most graphic or gangster rapper out there. But if 21 Savage tries to direct some little kids from his music, would people respect that? What do you think, Ghost?
And I ain't giving Kai Cenat a salute for shit. Like, I feel like this is probably what he was saying to the kids is more jokey and tongue in cheek, but you're the biggest streamer on Twitch. You know who your audience is. Twitch tells you your demographics. You're aware of your demographics. You see your chat. You know you have children watching you. If you want to exploit that audience and use that audience however you see fit to get those views and all that, go ahead and do it. But you don't get to turn around and then flip it and say, when you see him in real life, implying that he wasn't or that the kids shouldn't be watching, they're too young for his content, or he didn't know. Like, go watch Cocomelon, go watch the more age appropriate, blah blah blah. Like, it's too late, bro. You're the problem, and he's not gonna fix it. Like, unless he gets on Twitch and puts up some age restrictions or some shit, or has more.
Well, Twitch does have, like, for you going to people's stream, you do have to say, they do give it a warning.
Why am I very skeptical about if that actually is implemented or not? But
is that his fault?
It's like, come on, like, are we being serious right now? Like, you talk about stop. He's might be the #1 brain rot streamer.
No. I'm trying to wait off.
Bro,
but let's slow down.
No. Let me see some examples here. We got, first of all, just like his general, the way he conducts his streams, all the fucking screaming and shit and all that, which his prerogative to do if he wants to do that. But all of that screaming, all the shouting, all the dumb shit, all of the, and I don't even be watching the streams heavily, but just as from what I consume vicariously,
we know, and that's why the statement should be pulled back a bit.
All the shit with Duke Dennis, all the shit with Phantom Tags, all the damn. I don't feel like getting into a deep dive on that stream content, but he has a lot of.
Well, then you can't just jump out the window and say it's the highest level of brain rot on the internet.
Okay, it's not the highest level of brain. We're splitting hairs. The point is that he's perpetuating a lot of the. My point isn't about him being ranked #1. My point is that he's perpetuating the brain rot and all the stuff that the kids in front of him are doing. That's what is promoted and exemplified in his streams. It is what it is. And if he wants to continue to do that, it is his choice. He can do that all he wants. But you can't turn around and act shocked or want them to not consume your stuff when you know they're going to go home and turn on your stream and you're still going to be streaming. You're not going to change anything about what you put out there.
Well, is there anything else before I jump in?
That's all.
Obviously, there is a lot to combat there, and I don't really want to come in here and be like a Kai Cenat defender, but obviously there's some things that we can't just spew unless we have the full context. But I'll let you jump in there first, Ace. What do you think of this interaction, and more so because it goes down to focus on Kai, or more so, somebody trying to direct their audience away from their content if it looks like it's potentially negatively impacting them? think it's justified, or do you think like you're more like Ghost, where they just have to lay it, they just have to sit with it?
I mean, I just from a more general standpoint, I think it's 1,000% justified to do or to attempt to do. Like, yeah, I mean, you mentioned 21 Savage. Like, if he were to go out and say, "My music is not for children," he's right. Like, it's true. So I don't see what I can't see anybody getting upset at him saying that. I mean, it's factually true. He doesn't make music for children. So if we look at Kai Cenat now, and he does the same thing. Like he says, his content is not supposed to, it's not his target audience is not children. He doesn't want children to see his content. Um, I view it in a similar way. I don't. I mean, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that statement just on its face. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's just like a general answer to a question. And then like my thoughts as far as watching the video, I wasn't, I didn't view it in a like doubting way or like this was fake or anything like that. Um, I do think I mean, even like seeing numbers online, seeing or interacting with people online is different from going to an elementary school, which I'm sure he doesn't do every day, and seeing children acting out the things that you know you don't you don't want to see children acting out, or you don't want to see have being associated with children. Like it's not good for them, and you see it firsthand. It's like I could see that being a shock to somebody. Again, I don't know his daily life. I don't know how many like how how in tune he is with his fan base. Like if he has meetups or whatever, and he has a bunch of kids coming to him, or if
Well, they tried that once in New York and got arrested for it.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I think I heard about that. But
yeah, so much kids
more
riding
I'm
out
talking,
there.
Yeah, I'm talking like more on a personal level, because obviously like you just got thousands of people trying to see you. That's different. But yeah, just like this is a very personal set. It's not a bunch of people. It's just a few kids who called him out, and now he's seeing this thing firsthand. I can see that as being like kind of a wake up call. If that's true or not, maybe Ghost is right. It's not. It's he's. But I don't I give him the benefit of the doubt in that way. Um,
You're telling me he hasn't ever seen any children before this moment that are perpetuating this content in front of him? Never before?
I mean, maybe it wasn't as clear before. Like again, in in a setting like this, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, so there's a couple things to address and trying to I don't even know where to start here. Okay, we'll just kind of take it step by step. Okay, so when I totally hear a lot of what y'all are saying. I guess the first part is like the children aspect. So this kind of gives some more context. His like stream is obviously not age gated, but it does give a warning. You have to consent to being of age to consume it. But I think that's primarily because of the fact that during the streams is going to be using curse words. There might be some provocativeness, is that a word, when women are involved. They're playing games that are sort of a certain rating. Sometimes GTA are involved. They're currently doing at time recording. They're doing a 100-hour subathon stream of playing Elden Ring. So I think the content of what the stream could entail is what leads to the age, the rating for the content. That being said, I don't think Kai, and maybe even AMP at its heart, isn't for children. That's one of the elements I'm kind of confused about here. Like, obviously, again, yes, if there's swearing and some things are provocative going on, that's not for children. But just like dancing and having high energy, even the yelling, like all that, that's reacting to things, having that energy, that WL community energy. That doesn't necessarily make it not for kids. So I think if kids are interacting with it, like I think we just have to kind of see the distinction in what's kind of going on here. And I bring that up because I mean, okay, so if they know their demographic based off what the analytics that Twitch gives them, and obviously they've achieved success that they have doing what they're doing, like what would a person in their position do just because kids are interacting with content that I'm not even necessarily they like, and they've also went on record saying they're not making content for kids. So I'm a bit kind of confused about how they're in any shape or form in the wrong in this scenario.
So, to address that last point real quick, they can think, or if they get the data from Twitch and it's telling them one thing, and they think, well, our intent wasn't to make it for kids. So technically, we're not doing anything wrong, even if kids are mostly watching it and they do nothing. They can do that, but then don't get all high and mighty and get shocked that kids are watching your streams, because
he's not shocked that kids are watching the stream. I don't think anyone's ever shocked about who's consuming their content unless they're like a adult entertainer.
Didn't we just have this whole tangent about him seeing it and it kind of being a surprise to him that it's having this much of an effect on the kids? Like, I kind of feel like that implies.
Well, the specific way they're interacting with them, and I think specifically the alarming thing is the other content creators that they consume. If a kid came up to him and they were just like, "Hey, I love your stream. Can you like say something that you say on a streamer a lot?" I don't think he would I don't think he would go up to that kid and say, "Hey, don't watch me." I think specifically because of how they were interacting with them and the other content creators that they consume. Like they mentioned, who's the rapper they mentioned that ZZ Osama. Like I think I mentioned 21 Savage. If a young kid listens to music like that, that's something that I would say that's something that maybe needs to be addressed.
He's in the same vein as them, though. Like, if the kids are watching all of them, you can't exclude himself from that and say, "Oh, I'm separate from them. They're doing this thing, but I'm completely different. But they're still watching me." No, that's not how it works.
I don't think in this conversation we're trying to separate them. I think in what they said about, hey, delete all of it and don't watch me, or get rid of the content, get rid of the platform that I'm on, and stop watching them as well. I think there's no one's here trying to separate them. I'm just bringing up some of the more alarming aspects of this interaction.
If you don't do anything in response to being alarmed, you continue to maintain your status quo, he can say what he wants. And again, I'm not trying to put anything in his mouth specifically, just in this specific scenario, hypothetically you brought up. If they saw the demographics, they see who's listening, who's watching, they know that kids are being exposed to what he's putting out there, and he sees it and thinks, "Oh, I'm so concerned," but doesn't do anything to address it. That's literally pointless, and he should not get any. There shouldn't be any form of absolving because of that. Like, if you had a platform and you made it for adults, like it was 18 and up, but some kid saw it and consumed it, you wouldn't tell them this is not for you. Telling them it's not for. Okay, I have a perfect equivalency.
I mean, I just asked you a question, but fair enough.
To answer your question, I'm going to give you an example.
And the thing is, I don't want to ask that question because I don't necessarily think it's like a kid thing. But sorry, go ahead.
All right, yeah, we could delve into that. But what I was gonna say is porn sites.
I mean,
porn sites have a disclaimer on them. You have to be over 18 to watch it. Blah blah blah. that they know kids do not follow, and even though they have the liability wise, they can technically say, "Oh, there's a disclaimer there, like children aren't supposed to be watching it." It literally doesn't do anything because it's not stopping them. There's no form of age verification, so they
Not
can
yet.
express their
That's what
regrets.
the GTA route.
Yeah, I think they're actually in like Texas something. They were trying to do something different. I don't know the full details, but they can express a regret all they want and say that it's not meant for kids, it's meant for adults. But at the end of the day, if kids are consuming it, you're not doing anything to solve the problem.
The thing is, I don't necessarily want to go down this specific route of focusing on adult entertainment because, like, then what are we getting into? Like, all adult entertainers should quit their job or quit doing that?
I'm not even saying that. I'm not saying there's a solution or an easy way to solve this, but
it could. But it wouldn't. But nobody would look at. I think people look at them like they're doing the probably correct thing to do to tell somebody that shouldn't consume their content for whatever reason.
It's the correct thing, but it's functionally pointless. It does nothing, even if you can say that you're doing
how are we quantifying or qualifying how pointless it is or not?
Because it's not. It's not.
He may be convinced the kids.
Are you kidding? Are you? Come on.
Well,
Are we being real here? Are we being real on this?
I'm not focused on the specific interaction. Yes, these kids might be too far gone for unfortunately or not. I'm just saying in general, if somebody has content they're putting out that's negatively affecting somebody, like take out the kids. Say these were 18-year-olds. I mean, still kids. Say they were adults and they're consuming content and they're behaving like these kids. And then Kai was like, "Hey, well, you should turn that off. Go read a book or go consume something else." What would you say to that?
Kids, in this case, those kids that were in the video, it would be different because they are extremely impressionable, and you can tell kids one thing, but your actions are going to dictate what they follow and what they actually end up doing. I mean, we all know how kids' brains works. You can tell it.
This is true, but now if we're getting to the actual like, okay, well, someone should solve the problem. Then the bigger thing would be to go talk to the kids' parents.
I'm not even saying I'm not even saying like in general it's an easy problem to solve. But I'm just saying you can't act surprised that saying something one time and then continuing your same pattern of behavior that the kids are mimicking or following in some aspect is going to actually do anything, because it's not.
I don't want to jump out the window, but it sounds like you know I will, because you sound like you jump. I don't think you believe this. Like now let's just dial this back.
Really think that it's? Do you really think that? I'm not even trying to be specific, just to branch it out and not even talk about Kai specifically. You really think that in a scenario where kids are consuming something, that just telling them no, this is wrong is do anything? You don't change your actions as doing anything? You really believe that?
First of all, I'm probably the most like when it comes to kids, and I probably have the least amount of faith out of everyone here. But one, it's no harm in doing the action of, hey, kids, like, don't do something. I'm pretty sure a kid probably, I mean, again, these kids might be too far gone. I'm not talking about the specific instance, but a kid probably will be more likely to listen to somebody who they look up to in some degree, opposed to some random person. One, and yeah, and that's the one and the two. Like, there's no harm in it, and two, they probably a kid probably would be more likely to listen to the person in question. Sorry, you were saying something else?
So there's a kid at a candy store eating all the candy when they shouldn't be. You walk up to him, say, "Hey, don't do that." You turn around and walk out the door.
Why you say you? We're talking about the person that they emulate, the person that they look up to.
When I say you, I'm just saying like a general you.
I know, but I'm saying why.
Well, the you is important. It's not.
The you is the person that they look up to the most, the person that they're literally emulating is the person that's telling them not to do that, not to do something. They are more likely to listen to that person because the person that influences them most.
Even if that person was on video in this is a crazy scenario, but if that person was streaming themselves doing something similar to what they're doing, and then they see the kid out and about and they tell him not to do it, and it's the same thing that they're doing.
Yes, going with your analogy, even if you have a candy maker in the store on stream eating the candy, if the kids are in the store eating candy and acting crazy because of it, the guys who make candy can go up to the kids and be like, "Hey, don't do this," because again, there's no harm in that, and they might listen to them if they truly respect the candy maker.
There's
Candy
things that
maker,
kids-
like
there's things that adults
You brought up the analogy.
can
Don't dare try to
adults
come
can
at me.
do on camera that kids can't do. If the adult tells the kid not to do it, how is that a bad thing? If the adult is drinking and they tell the kid not to drink because you're too young, don't do it. Like, how is that a bad thing?
If you tell the kid this thing and you don't do anything to solve the problem, like if in the scenario you're talking about with the drinking, if you're on stream drinking all the time, the kid's watching your stream, the kid's drinking, you tell the kid, hey, don't do that. You're right. You guys are right. It's technically what you should be doing is telling them not to drink. Like, you should be doing that. But realistically, if you turn around and you walk away and you leave them to their own devices afterwards,
What do you expect?
and you
them to
continue
do?
going
Go
on
follow
stream,
the kids home, make sure they delete the apps. Like, and also, I think what I was trying to get at is I feel like you're conflating this whole thing. Like, Kaya's getting on a pedestal now because somebody just recorded this IRL interaction that he had. He told some kids not to watch his stream and stuff. Where is he got on a pedestal?
I'm not saying he got on a
stuff.
pedestal. There's nothing wrong with what he did.
You definitely make it seem like it is.
The thing that is wrong and that's incorrect is thinking that there's any good that's actually going to come out of it, because there's not.
Did he even say that? Like, all
I'm
he
not
did
talk-
was
I'm
did
not
what
talking
he
about-
could do
I'm
in the moment. He could tell the kids not to watch his stream. Who said he left the interaction? Now he thinking I did some good, or I had an effect on kids in general, or even these kids specifically. I just saw him walk away and probably contemplate, like, damn, like I'm affecting the lives of kids like this, the kids that I just saw in real life, not people typing on the thing and whatever. Like, he saw a real life group of children that are being
telling me
affected.
that he hasn't experienced this before. The biggest streamer in the world. This has never happened to him.
Like, we hear your points you're bringing up, Ghost, but it's like it almost don't necessarily matter. It could be the first time, it could have been the thousandth time. The way he interacted with the situation is the way he interacted. Like, it is what it is. And
It is what it is, but
none of it negates
change
that.
anything.
I mean, if you and that gets into all the territory. That kind of gets back to like the other topic we were talking about. Like, okay, like are we thinking about change? Are we fixing the entire problem? Are we thinking about potentially doing something that's not harmful to this specific instance? It's kind of
He can do it all he wants, but it's not gonna actually do anything.
And who are you to even say that? Like, that's such a wild claim. Like, it's like nobody could ever say this to it wouldn't affect them at all. Like, again, if you are so pessimistic about kids and how they interact with this type of content, that's fine. But I mean, it's still like a kind of a lofty claim to make.
Okay, I hope I'm wrong.
I don't even.
I mean, if we're being realistic here,
I don't even know what you've consumed in your lifetime to think otherwise. Like, this is the type of thing that takes like to think that like would you agree like these kids are like not these kids but like kids are that consume this type of content are brain rotted, like they're too far gone? and it doesn't, and telling them, giving them alternatives, things that they should consume, is like.
I'm telling you that if I was that kid in that situation, what Kai said to me, that would not have made any difference at all. Like, I would have gone home and turned on the stream. What you mean? And it would be a realistic.
Yeah, so yeah, that goes to my
99% of kids.
Yeah, so that you're going based off you, which is, I get it, but that's
okay. What you're saying, all the stuff you guys are saying is like mostly right. Like, there's nothing wrong. It's the correct thing, the positive thing for him to have said that, for him to correct the kids, and hopefully it's going to make a difference. But realistically, this is a real world we're talking about. It's not going to change anything. That's what I'm saying. I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong and I'm misguided, but that's what I believe based on.
Okay, and I think
literally every kid that I've seen in my life.
And I think to tie it back to maybe the other topic, I think yes, we agree. This interaction, even if somebody like him had this interaction with a bunch of, like, a good portion of the audience, it probably, in the grand scheme, just like giving money to every homeless person that you come across in your lifetime, it doesn't affect the overall problem. No, it doesn't. But it don't hurt. And people shouldn't be demotivated in doing things like it. Is that fair? Do we pretty much
That's
agree with
fair, but I think that it also has to tie back with, I don't know. I'm not going to tell him he needs to change his whole platform, change the way he does everything, but if he just continues going about his business and streaming the same exact way, it's not having a real effect on anything. And the words that or his sentiment that he may or may not have had would ring hollow because it's not, again, actually doing anything.
Fair enough. I mean, it's just like with that type of thinking, like, you just kind of it's just like it's like a dud. The reason why it's like you're potentially right, but it's like a dud to think about, because, like, okay, so then we expand it out. Okay, so say he completely changes up his content. He's no longer yelling. He's no longer doing anything pretty funny. He's basically doing educational content. Let's say he does that. Okay, but then there's hundreds of other streamers that are still going to do that content. So it's like we can continue, like, look at the overall situation in society and be like, okay, this has no effect. Okay, this has no effect. This has no effect. It's not like in order to really change something, we need to, like, shut off the internet, and maybe that even won't have an effect. It's like you're not wrong per se, but it's like I don't know if we need to get down the rabbit hole of being pessimistic for the sake of what.
Even about. It's partially about being pessimistic. I won't say that.
It's 100.
There's
nothing about conversation that you're saying that isn't pessimistic.
My thing is, even though I am being pessimistic, my focus was, you can say whatever you want, but if actions aren't changing, then there's gonna be no net realistic change afterwards. That's what I think.
Well, we agree on the grand scheme of things.
He can say what he wants, but
we agree.
It's not really doing anything.
Just like you can give money to a homeless person. Yeah, we get it. Yeah. There was one thing I was gonna think. Oh, again, so Kai, regardless of negative opinions they could have on them, super hardworking. Like I said, literally doing a long ass stream. Man, we'd be streaming for like better for 3 hours, and I'm already like ready to go. So definitely hardworking. And you know what I will say, and I don't know, your comment kind of made me question, even though I think I know enough about your ghosts to know it's not the case. One thing I will say, I don't know if it's, I think you gotta give a lot of credit to our parents, our upbringing, and maybe a bit of just how our makeup. Cause other thing I was thinking about watching this clip, I can't imagine myself, I'll speak for myself, as a kid, of any person that could have came up and I would have acted like this. Like, I was literally like maybe Will Smith back in the day. and I'm not definitely not act like that. Maybe like Keenan and Kel. Like, and obviously we're different generations and things, but it's just very, just like, again, there's nobody, I don't think, that I could have acted like this. Anybody come to y'all mind, or am I kind of on the same page about just the way we were brought up and all the dynamics around us? Like, we weren't getting starstruck as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, and if we were, it wouldn't have been manifested itself this way. Like they're just extremely comfortable with an adult. Like it's just kind of weird, but I think it is a lot of upbringing.
That is what you said, actually. And that's the internet for you. That's one of the changes that people don't talk about. Kids are rarely comfortable with adults and maybe other humans in general. Yeah, it would have been a freaking Goku came out of nowhere, and that I'll get hyped for Goku.
That's what I was thinking. Like Goku pop out of nowhere, like anime character.
Be funny, obviously in front of Goku and Piccolo trying to turn Super Saiyan. That's the best I could have done when I was a kid. But I think we spent a good enough amount of time on this. Let's also come on to the next topic. Hopefully, we got all of the debate air out of our lungs, because I feel like I could come on here and
debate
get on y'all about this, because this is my going back to that already. And this is what I literally predicted this. So going back to that list, someone that arguably could have been on this. Do people find Keith Lee funny, or is it just like?
I think more entertaining than funny.
I wonder if entertaining is like. Can you break down entertaining into subcategories? Like, what is entertaining at its core? What makes something entertaining?
Enjoy watching them consistently, and I don't know. You're not bored by them. You're just entertained. I don't know a better way to put it.
What is the definition of being entertained?
You laugh.
You don't feel like you wasted all your time. You feel like you gained something from the experience, even if
because.
Dog, we're not. Come on, are we really gonna define?
I won't, but I'm just saying, like, it was like one of those things. I think entertaining is just like a broad thing, and the sub things. I'm entertained because something is informative, something is funny, because something is
just make you feel good.
Because something is entertaining, bro. I don't think it's deeper than that.
It's deeper. It's definitely deeper.
Why do you watch anime? Why do you watch anything? Why do you read manga?
Because of action. What?
Because you like watching and enjoying and experiencing that action, and you're entertained, right?
Yeah, but I think
action. It's deeper than that.
I think action and thrill is like a deeper component to entertaining. Not everything I find entertaining, and you guys would agree, not everything you find entertaining is just because of something blanket. It's because of you find it funny, you find it informative, you find it thrilling, you find it compelling. Like, there are different aspects of things. But
compelling.
Why do you listen to podcasts?
That's a very that's a very blanket statement.
Yeah, some of these are, but
that's what I'm saying. You can apply the.
I think entertaining is the most blanket thing, and I think something is. I don't think something can just be entertaining, but it's fine. It's not nothing. It's not nothing to really debate on. We gotta focus on this. Anyway. Unless y'all want to, bring it on.
Need to debate. I just think
bring it on. I'm here for smoke, bro.
The only reason I chuckled is because I forgot we were even about to discuss something specific.
Like I'm never running away from debate, smoke on this podcast. I don't argue with people in real life.
It's not worth debating.
It's like, how did this even come up?
Anyway, but I will say salute to Keith Lee. He's obviously he seemed like a super dope individual, but. So we had a conversation not too long ago about online food critics, and I think you gotta give a lot of credit to them, even though people have been doing food reviews since the beginning of time, and definitely since the beginning of that Food Network channel. It seems like there's been a resurgence of online, or people doing it online. Yeah, Keith Lee's, and the brother that we were looking at, the what's the brother's name? It's like Christian something. Yeah, and you have that frail white dude from the UK. You have all the people that have been doing this do it to certain some people are probably just really just doing it for like a 4-minute breakdown. Some people are putting their entertainment sauce on it. Some people are just naturally entertaining. But one thing that I thought when I saw some of these things is, even though the onus on everyone to have their own opinion. Some of these food critics could sway the market and can potentially, and especially if you're going around, specifically going to local shops, I think you just have to be conscious. And I think for the most part, he's incredibly conscious. Like that, the reason why I would give him salute is because when you look at the way he talks to people, when he talks about the businesses, how he still highlights the good in it. He always says, "This is just my opinion. You guys should try it for yourself, and don't ever go harass nobody. Don't ever do nothing negative." So he gives the proper disclaimers, but not everyone does. And even in him giving the proper disclaimers, it seems like people still got a little smoke with him. So with all that being said, let's watch a restaurant where he what's the word? He participated. He was a customer at, and what they had to say about his review. Patronized. Why didn't you say it earlier?
My here is the video Keith Lee made of us. We've seen it. Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10. First and foremost, I just want to thank Keith
Pause it.
for acknowledging us. That was a really.
People are doing ratings of some people rating them. What? Anyway, so the restaurant is the Bayou Effect in Baton Rouge, I was gonna say LA, Louisiana. And let's see what they had to say about what Keith had to say about the restaurant. It's a good marketing tool. Sorry.
Opportunity, but we do have to come on here and tell our truth and share our experience. And this is not to get mad at Keith Lee because he had an honest experience, but I believe it was based off what he was told and not the actual truth.
Available. But when my family was going to pick up the food, they were sitting there for an hour to the point where they had to go to the counter and ask what the reason behind the wait time was. Eventually, they told them to never put the order in.
First and foremost, we did have his order. He sent this driver in and we asked him what was the name of the order. He told us that his name was Steven. When he called in the order, he told us that his name was Kiba. Just to clear up any confusion in regards to the store credit, it was not issued as a refund. We noted that the customer told us a different name versus what he put in, especially after waiting, but we just wanted to give a complimentary credit as we would do any customer that the situation might have happened to.
Now, my family said the customer service was okay, was not solely based on the wait time, because we completely understand the wait time if it was based on them being extremely busy. But in this case, the wait time was strictly based on the fact the order wasn't put in. Reasons that we can only assume was miscommunication.
On a regular Wednesday, being mentioned by Keith Lee literally caused us to be packed. So first and foremost, we were very busy.
Pause it.
Keith Lee.
Oh man, I wanted to get that. Maybe we should wait till we see the entire thing. But did that look like a busy restaurant? I'm just saying.
Is he Jamaican busy?
Yeah. Also, this is a relatively small. It seems like a relatively small, business. So just remember the things when you're thinking about the context of it.
Keith Lee food choices, a 2 out of 10.
This is the big part.
Keith Lee, we're known for our lamb chops, although we are grateful for the items that you did try, and we know that those are delicious. We just would have loved if you would have came and tried our lamb chops and things that we were known for.
Hey y'all, Bayou Effect family, Baton Rouge. I really love you guys. I appreciate everybody coming out. I'm so proud of my wife. And I appreciate you, Keith Lee, for coming out and supporting the Bayou Effect. We started out real small. And I just appreciate everything you have done for us and this family.
Man, that's what I like. Even if there's a bit of drama going on, there's still love given at the end. There's still appreciation. Because one thing or another, and maybe this defeats my whole argument of why this could potentially be a problem, is I think even if a food reviewer that's the size of Keith Lee gave, or on the scale, sorry, they gave like a somewhat negative review, I think people are still gonna want to know. They're still gonna want to look into it for some degree. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, some people live and die off reviews, from what I hear. Anyway.
Very true.
So, to give the breakdown of this, and again, I don't know how common this is. These lovely folks at the Bayou Effects, that now we know because Keith Lee reviewed it. They did a breakdown of Keith Lee's breakdown of their restaurant, and they cited a couple reasons why their experience might not be indicative or reflective of the general experience that they give. There was a wait time issue. and there was a miscommunication with the naming convention. There was business due to the people knowing about the fact that Keith Lee was going to review it, and the biggest thing, the actual food. They claim that they are well known for their whatchamacallit, their, what was it? Lamb chops. But apparently Keith Lee and his family ordered other items on the menu. And if you feel compelled, I didn't put it in there. I think I put it in Discord, but if you scroll down on this thing, because obviously, you got to be signed in. Well, if you're signed into X/Twitter, somebody below does provide the full Keith Lee review of the restaurant. So there's context given in the thread, just to be clear. But anyway, this definitely seems like it coincides, and you guys are going to tell me that I'm wrong, but it definitely seems like it coincides with my thought process that if you give the power to the online food critics, then people start getting negative perceptions about the restaurant. So, like, now people, I know, stay with me. People have the negative perception of one of the food items on this restaurant, when it wasn't even the restaurant's intention for that to be the selling point. Their selling point was lamb chops.
So you're telling me that why did they have it on the menu if they didn't want it to be their selling point, or if they weren't confident in it?
You know what's funny? If you look in the comments, that's like one of the highest liked comments. Listen, that's like asking, why does McDonald's have the fish fillet on the menu when the highest selling thing is the nuggets and the burger? What do you mean? If I only sell one thing, how am I gonna have a business that's gonna expand and grow? What do you mean?
So you can have multiple things, and people will like some things more than others, but you shouldn't be that unconfident in the specific thing that you're like, oh no, that's trash. Don't try that. Try this instead. Like, what do you mean?
What are you saying is?
To summarize, we have a topic where basically you're just using this to once again say why you don't
That's
like
reviews.
reviews. Like,
You're still not right. Don't worry.
Well, that I don't. The summarization is a bit like leaving out a bit, but even if you do if I'm being charitable and let you get away with that, does anyone agree now? That's the main question.
No. Still no. 100%
doesn't change anything.
How does that not change anything when what I clearly called out came to be true? Like, now people's opinions are going to be swayed by this thing that the restaurant doesn't even want to promote.
We knew this. We didn't think that wasn't going to be a consequence. That's the point.
This is literally a problem or something that has to be thought about in every single avenue of anything that gets reviewed by anyone. It is what it is. It's gonna have
not on a public scale like this.
Really?
This
so
changes.
You're telling me they don't have public like Yelp reviews? They don't have public music reviews. If you see a review from Pitchfork that says, "Nah, this album is trash, don't listen to it," you see the artist lodging a complaint against Pitchfork, like saying that no, our album was actually good. You didn't listen to the right track, and this. Come on now, like everyone has to deal with it. It is
First
what
of
it
all,
is.
Artists have definitely done that. Like, do you know how much hate Anthony Fantano's gotten over the years because people claim he didn't digest their music the way that they intended for him to digest? But that's neither here nor there, because we all are intelligent and conscious enough to know the difference between online Yelp, Google, however you want to specify reviews, where there's not a face to the review. When you have a singular content creator who has the following they have and is known for what they're known for, putting out to the world their views on these things, like Keith Lee and content creators like them change the dynamic of the way a restaurant, they're like the floor of a restaurant. Like there's a world in which before that restaurant they were getting like a decent like they were selling the item at a decent rate. It might not be their selling point, but they were selling it. But now you just put out in the world that particular item is like trash, it ain't it, and you're willing to give my restaurant a slightly more negative review because of it. Like, how does that for the benefit of restaurants?
Literally, that's always gonna be concerned. It's always gonna, like, if I'm searching on Google for a restaurant I want to try out, and I see a bad review that says X, Y, and Z, even if it's not accurate, I'm gonna be more disinclined to try it. Like, it is what it is. Like,
It's worth the benefit.
I don't know why you're responding that way when we're in 2024. Like, what are you telling me about when you go look at the review? I'm telling you that they literally can call it like a Keith Lee effect, or whoever like name an online food critic. Like, they have an effect. Like, it's different.
Of course, the reviews are for the benefit of the consumer primarily. So I don't know why you keep saying what's the benefit for the restaurant.
That is the argument. But at the same time, so you guys don't care if these small businesses can potentially be hurt by these reviews.
No,
to be clear.
Quest, not really. No. No.
Just to be clear, you don't care if somebody that's their entire dream, like blood, sweat, and tears devoted to having a restaurant because of one review.
Better.
That's how it goes.
Should have been better.
Go out of business all the time.
Rebrand and start up again and have Keith.
I'm actually
come back
glad.
and review
I'm
it.
actually glad this is y'all sentiment, because now I just know that I'm extra right. You just gotta care about the little guy out there that barely can doing it, just holding on. That's the person that really appreciates food.
You know what, Quest? You are very entitled to have that opinion.
Like, what are you talking about?
I hope you go to one of those restaurants that Keith Lee gave a bad review to.
Exactly.
And then you try their food that's trash, and you be like, "Damn, this is trash. I should have listened to Keith Lee." And you never go back there again.
Like what? What are you talking about?
You know what Saul going back this podcast we're talking about problem solving. You know what solves the problem? Get Keith Lee and Keith Lee's out of here, and let people just consume it for themselves, and we can have a truly independent, market, an independent competitive market.
So hold up.
Not being influenced by the flavor of the week review.
So if you're so about the little guy,
yes, I am.
Small business,
yes.
What about all the businesses? Which if I had to I'd say a lot more businesses have been helped by Keith Lee than hurt. What about all of them that business is booming now because of Keith Lee? But otherwise, they would have been a hole in the wall. No one knew about them.
Okay, now we're bringing up the holy, like, you can't argue with them arguments. Yes, he's helped some small businesses grow to like huge proportion. Okay, so you guys are saying we should accept the bad with good, like the United States gun problem, just because we want the right to bear arms, so we have to accept the few. I think they just have something. I probably can't make this joke. So you're saying we just have to accept it?
There's no bad
about my equivalencies.
What are
really?
you talking about? I don't see the bad.
Listen, we can acknowledge we can all acknowledge that there's a lot of positive, and that I'm kind of put something that only probably I think about. Well, I mean, in this restaurant, these people probably agree with me, by the way. But anyway, but you can't say there's no negative. You can't, like, then you just lying to yourself. The negative is these people can negatively influence on a different scale than how it used to be. You can negatively influence a restaurant based off, like, literally, like, you got the thing that the restaurant isn't even known for. Like, what?
He got the thing that the restaurant is not known for.
Take it off the menu. What you mean?
I mean, yes, that is a potential solution for them, but we don't. Long term, we don't know what that type of thing could. Again, you get something from a restaurant you didn't like. You have the following in the effect. Now people think the entire restaurant is no good. This is like I'm laying out. What about what I'm laying out don't make sense?
That's accurate, but again, it's literally you're gonna have reviews that you might not agree with, the restaurant person doesn't agree with. It is what it is. Free market. Well,
I would say that's causing.
It's got to be better.
I would say that's causing the market to not be free, because now we're going based off the opinions of the select few food critics that we're putting on this high elite pedestal that you guys are aligning with. You guys.
How did they get there
in
the first place?
You guys are the elitists.
They can't be elitist if they were elevated to that level when they started off at the level everyone else, and all the other free market people that are consuming this content said, this person is pretty credible. I'm going to value their opinion higher than everyone else's, and they got to the point they are at now. It didn't just come out of nowhere for most of them.
This is true. You guys are responding with a lot of truths, but I can equally respond. If it was up to you guys would have a classist economic market system, we will only respect the opinions, and we only patronize the select
Only
few.
patronize was good, but the select few that are good. Yes, yes.
You're talking about classes. I think it's perfect the way it is. These random people who get big because people agree with the way that they're reviewing these different restaurants, and they get a following from that. I don't have a problem with that. I also don't have a problem with Bayou Effect replying and saying, you know, XYZ is why this happened, and letting people make their own decision based on the contents of the review and the contents of the rebuttal. Like,
I gotta be honest, in that response video, bro, those lamb chops in that macaroni look so good. Like, it looks so good.
I think that's a perfect place to end it. Yeah, obviously, nothing too serious here. Just I just brought it to showcase.
But yeah, it just brought it to showcase that you were trying to be right again. You're not slick, bro.
Yes. I'm not trying to be slick. I admit it. Yes. That was my intent. Yes, you caught it. Anyway, if nothing else, we can move on to the last topic.
We better not have another one of these next week.
I think you only get a couple runs. I can't come back in a few more. Well, and here's my evidence B. Like, it don't look like that.
Yeah, we still got another topic.
I mean, it's only been 2 and some change.
I guess so.
Now, this is some silly, technology related situations going on here. So first and foremost, I guess salute to all the entrepreneurs that go on Shark Tank. I had a thought process when I was watching this. Who is Shark Tank for, as far as the people that consume it? My first thought would be like, it's for like people that are heavy into entrepreneurship and that could imagine themselves one day on this. But I feel as if the highest, like the demographic of this show is probably like old people. They're just the same people that would watch like the whatever game shows on that night.
Exactly. Precisely.
Why? What's the point? Why would an average person or a person that's like not even in the business of entrepreneurship consume this show? Why is it as popular as it is?
Well, actually, I shouldn't talk like I'm on a pedestal because I actually I like the not Shark Tank but the Dragon joint. That I think influenced or started or
was that like the UK version of it or whatever?
Yeah. I think that's the one that started it. But the Shark Tank is kind of more goofy. It feels more what do you call it? Like pre-written or whatever. But yeah, like just the concept in and of itself, seeing people propose, solutions to various problems or whatever, their new idea how to solve a certain thing or provide for a niche market or whatever. I do think it can be an entertaining in and of itself, and then also like seeing how these people think from a business standpoint and if they are actually prepared to go into like a business doing a business deal with these high level like CEOs. Like it is just pretty entertaining even if you have no business acumen. So
Oh, nice. I actually like that perspective. And you hit the nail on the head when you said silly, because I don't know, maybe you guys would be receptive to this sales pitch. But let's see. With the caption of entrepreneurs will come up with anything these days. I want to think emoji.
I got it from here, thank you. But what is Beulr? Well, it's the first and only product of its type. And essentially what we do is allow our users to be in 2 places at once or more. Anytime you have conflicting obligations, me, for example, I like to sleep in, but I did have to be here today. Well, I can use Beulr. Beulr is the application that attends online meetings for you. That's right, it's the first and only product of its type. To date, we've helped tens of thousands of people around the globe avoid those tedious online meetings where you kind of have to go, but at the same time, you really don't need to. It is very simple to use. Let me show you how it works. Once you've created an account on Beulr, click Schedule a Bot, and then enter the meeting nickname, give it an ID and a password, copy and paste the meeting link, enter the days of the week you'd like Beulr to arrive, what time to arrive, and how long to stay for. From there, you can just upload a video of yourself pretending to pay attention, sipping your tea, you know, having a good time. and then you're all set. Once you hit complete, you don't need to leave your computer open, you don't need to leave your laptop running or anything like that. All your online meetings are attended through the cloud.
So, just like the young man's pitch went, Beulr, an app developed by Peter Soliman, appeared on Shark Tank during season 13, seeking 150,000 for 20% equity. The app automates attendance at virtual meetings by using bots, which was initially created to help Peter manage his early morning online classes. Yeah, this definitely seemed like some college shit. Classes during the pandemic. During the pitch, Peter demonstrated the app, which attracted about 92,000 users with a minimal marketing spent. Despite the initial interest, none of the sharks decided to invest. They raised concerns about the app's integrity, compliance issues, and viability as sustainable. Anyway, nice light topic to round out things. Who all here would use this app? Come on, we've all had meetings that we've been on, virtual meetings that we didn't necessarily have to participate, but we were sent the invite, and you want to make sure you're in attendance. You want to make sure your face is still there. People see that you are a part of the project, the part of the team, but you don't necessarily have to provide a high level of input during the meeting. Maybe you just need a few grunts of compliance or negatives, or you're not with it. Who all here would use the Beulr app? Ghost, you rocking with these guys?
Never in a million years. I'm not even hating on him, but just for one, the meetings that I attend for work, like I am actively participant in, and I cannot
all of them.
With yes, yeah. I'm at a smaller company.
Yeah,
so
knowing you're right.
Yeah, I know bigger companies. I do get like where there might be some that.
Okay, so imagine if you're at a bigger company. Don't just look at your current situation. Imagine your life in general.
Still no, because one thing about me is that I will get very paranoid about something like this, in that the one time that, if 99 times before this they didn't ask me any questions, the one time I did this, they would ask me a question, and I would just be sitting there with a pre-recorded video nodding like a fool, and I would get fired. And even if I ran it during the meeting and I was sleeping, I would not be able to actually relax, because it would be in the back of my mind like, what if they are going to ask me? What if they need me for something? What if the meeting runs later and I have this bot log off at 9:30 exactly when it actually goes to 9:40? My mind would go a million miles a minute. Never in a million years.
Yo, that would be the funniest. So all the meetings I've ever been a part of, the pure humor of you getting asked a question.
So, Ghost, what do you think about X?
And then there's all the awkward of oh, is he on mute?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, is this video frozen? Is this connection? Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine.
And then someone just finally says, "Okay, well, we'll take this offline and talk to you." Ace, come on. We're all engineers here. You have to respect the engineering aspect of it. In life, we're all trying to make things more convenient, trying to make things more innovative. Please tell me you're using the Beulr
app. For the reasons that Ghost mentioned, this particular iteration of the Beulr app will not work. However, interestingly enough, in the last few weeks, I've been following a channel on Twitch that apparently they're responsible for a lot of the AI stuff that's come out in the last couple of years, with the AI Trump and Biden debating and all that, those different just 24-hour channels where they'll have AI versions of people talking and saying a bunch of nonsense. Um, but that group who's responsible for that Twitch channel has also been developing AI co-streamers, like where you'll have
I've seen that. Yeah.
AI version of yourself, um, just able to like interact with the chat or respond directly to questions from you.
Yeah.
And yeah, as time goes on, like truly within the next 5-10 years, if that much.
Let's hope it's not that accelerated.
Yeah, the AI is gonna like. I'm sure it's gonna be powerful enough to just handle the streaming in general, where the person is gonna be like the secondary type of.
F the streaming. Going back to this, and I guess that is more so where it's kind of Black Mirror-ish, even though I don't watch it. But say they developed, and I guess the thing you needed, you brought up actually good examples. That's actually good example to bring up because I think we are in a day and age where, even now, I think depending on how much a person speaks, like I think you could probably have a AI Joe Biden or AI Barack Obama, AI Trump, and you can ask them questions and it will spit out to you. So I think you can set it up to where if you put that AI in the meeting, as long as they're not asking you something like specific that the AI doesn't know, but if they ask you, hey, Trump, what is your views on this if we proceed forward with, going through this with this budget, you probably could get a somewhat reasonable response.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine it's there, and you talked enough to where the AI knows exactly how you'd respond. Now let's spin it back. You using that one, Ace?
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, I think so.
There we go.
And I think it's not going to be uncommon either.
There, you see, well, and that goes back to my thing. Well, I'll ask you first, Ghost. What about you, Ghost? The AI can answer just how you answer. Are you using it?
No.
With all the pessimistic.
No.
Yeah, you like to add in your comments.
I'm skeptical about certain things that AI are capable of. I know it can do a lot.
How you know I'm not AI right now? Sorry, I just see. that's jumping out all the way the window. Sorry, my apologies.
But yeah, there's certain things that I don't think I'd ever trust AI to do, and responding for me in any capacity is one of them. Like, I'm never going to use AI to write anything for me, to respond to an email, to, in this case, answer questions that my general question might come up in a meeting. I would never do it.
I actually like that. You're consistent. I forget what was the specific. I mean, it was AI related, but we had a topic, and I remember you didn't have the highest level of certainty of like the capabilities of AI, even though.
Oh, what was that?
It was the dating.
Where they put the AI where they put you don't have to AI simplified dating. You don't have to date. The AI will date for you.
Oh, I was actually thinking of a different, but yeah, that.
Yeah, you weren't with that either. Dang, I'm gonna be honest. It sucks.
Y'all gonna have AIs talking in your place and saying all sorts of wild shit at your meetings, bro. Damn, Ace, what were you wanting in the meeting? You sitting there like.
Based on the stuff that I'm seeing on these Twitch streams, I do 100% understand they're not ready yet. Like, they are saying some wild stuff, but I do think in very short order, just based on how far we've come with large language models in the last couple of years, like the growth seems to be exponential. So
you just all for the AI takeover. Like, literally every science fiction movie ever. Come on,
it's going to happen.
Definitely happen.
Have y'all not seen like, again, any futuristic dystopian movies? You hate dystopian movies, Ace. You're gonna be living in one. Like, come on, bro. We've seen this shit before. You're just gonna let them. We've had it told to us for the past 50, 60 years, and now the AI is here. People are just, oh, come on in. No, why don't you attend my meetings for me? Why don't you set up my life? Come on, bro.
Listen, it sounds like you're trying to be Will Smith and iRobot, fam.
Bro, if I'm not doing it, someone has to. Cause it's like we've seen it. We know what's gonna happen. Like we've seen Terminator, right? Yes. We lost the war against the machines, bro. We're gonna lose it again.
Hey, we'll have a few good years. It's fine.
The only thing you can hope for is that, and that's why the only thing I will push back is, I think the AI is still super janky. Even like you'll hop on Copilot, ask it something super simple, and it just spits you out Wikipedia. Like, I think
hopefully Google AI when you search and
hopefully in our lifetime, it'll still be mostly man-made, and then in a few generations, then they can deal with that. But surely they won't by the next 5 years. Damn. What's your over, Andres? You really think it's like 5-10 years?
I mean, not for taking over, like Ghost.
No, not taking over. Just like the AI can do everything for you, basically.
Yeah, 5-10 years, and I'm getting closer to the 5.
We won't even be able to retire, man. At that point, at least if I'm like old and retired, then I cannot care. But you saying I gotta deal with? I'll be competing with the AIs, the AI employees.
Yep.
Damn it, man. Anyway,
the only limit is infrastructure. Like, as far as people getting replaced by AI, replacing these, very embedded pipelines in terms of how work and project is organized and things like that. But it's coming.
It's just the truth. Anyway, salute to all the individuals out there that do have those what do you call them? Meetings that you have to attend, but you usually don't give a lot of input on them. You usually just say, good morning and thank you at the end. We're laughing at it, but this I mean, obviously it does benefit a certain amount of users, and so to all the ones that it does, but be careful, because like Ghost said, it's gonna come a day when you get asked a question like, oh, let's see what Johnny's input actually is, and your AI is gonna smile and sip that tea like he was saying, and you getting fired, bro.
You're gonna be looking like a clown and a half.
Cause this guy think he thought something real smart, but like no job is gonna.
He's probably gonna get sued. To be honest, like someone gets fired, sued for damages, and what do they call the mental anguish? I can't.
I don't even think it'll get that far. I think companies would get so hip to this so quickly if they.
Yeah, it's on the loop too. Like it's not like
if they figure out you have a Beulr account or an AI account. They automatically put you on some type of. They send you to HR, like you can't.
They're gonna say at the beginning of the meeting, just gonna say, "Okay, everyone, raise your hand, right hand, and wave." And if the AI don't do it, you're immediately busted. Like, you're done.
I guess real.
AI to record.
I guess real quick, would y'all maybe switch your minds about the school thing? Because I was in an era we got out of school. Well, I got out of school before COVID happened, so I'm not. Those online classes I never got really hip to. And even the online classes I did have, I never had to put my camera on. That's just new. That's some new shit. So would y'all use it for school if you just had to literally like had the thing open?
Oh, for classes.
Probably. I mean, yeah. I'm leaning towards work. So
yeah, you better be using it for school if you're using it for work. School, I think, because I probably wouldn't be participating anyway.
Wow, this that quick it could change. Yeah, they need to change their model. They don't aim it at like grown ass people in the workforce. Aim it at students.
Just with one sentence, you immediately made this pitch sound pretty good.
Students will pirate the software though. They're not gonna.
Oh damn it, man!
I ain't paying for this. It's probably gonna be a damn subscription. But.
Damn, you can't win for nothing. It's definitely a subscription. It's probably a decent one too. Probably upwards of $49 or something like that. Well, you got premium, then you got the regular. The regular one, the AI literally just stays static. If you want the dynamic movements, then you got to pay for a little more extra. Yeah. Again, salute to them. They definitely, like I said, people always want to innovate, even if it's at the detriment of, you potentially losing your job. Dang, that's so depressing. If you guys were sharks, you wouldn't invest in this. Anyway, if there's nothing else, we can move on. And I believe we're all set for topics. Sorry if it did kind of drag on, but oops. But definitely think there was still some good content, and I'm definitely was interested to know what you. I'm always interested to know if I ever bring something, even if it's not the most entertaining of topics. Entertaining is like the word of the day. I'm always interested to know what your thoughts are on, nonetheless. Anyway, before we wrap it up, as always, what, if anything, are we looking forward to? You know what they say about having something to look forward to.
For me, I just saw that Winter, who is an artist I follow, music artist, just announced tour dates. So I will certainly be trying to attend their concert in, I think, September. So I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have anything too major going on. I think life is just. I don't want to be the guy that's always say I got something in the works, but obviously I do. So yeah, for me, I think it's gonna be more of a low key. I'm just looking forward to like going back to where I forget what topic we were talking about, like the new official manga chapters of like One Piece and everything releasing tomorrow. Even the little things in life. Anything else?
Nope, not for me.
Okay. And I always like to lead the. I thought that was like I literally was having like a.
Yeah, I thought it was a new sound cue or something.
I thought it was like we're back in school. Dang, you messed up the thing.
Ah, shoot, my bad.
Yeah, pull that back up, or pull something up. Just have a screen open. Screen share open. I'd like to open the floor if there's any thing we want to get for heart or your chest. I think actually there was actually again an unfortunate shooting in Arkansas, I believe. Yeah, man. Every day, all you can do is pray to the Most High and try to do your best to stay out the way, because this world is 100% crazy. Do it. I don't want to get into like asking about topics because we could spend all night talking about that. I was gonna ask you all, do we have any opinions on what was it? It was in Louisiana where they're making it so they have to have the 10 Commandments in all the classrooms. But that's for another time. Anyway, so I just thought of that because I thought of places where like gun ownership is like relatively loose. Anyway. Thank you guys for coming out here and doing this podcast thing. Greatly appreciate y'all and y'all giving out your opinions and comments and criticisms on stuff we go over. And we appreciate any and all listeners. We greatly appreciate all the support, all the clicks and everything. And we hope that by listening to our podcast that you might gain new perspective or you might have learned something new, like the fact that your kids, your young cousins, siblings, they like every now and again ask them what content creators or streamers they follow, because some of them might be too far gone, and some of them you might be able to save them. Or we just hope that you find it entertaining. But if none of that happened for you, then all we can say is be warned and be filth. Okay, recording stop, and then the stopping stream.